Is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2, Thank you, Chris. Welcome to DBL. It is Tuesday, November 10th. I am Sam here with Al and Jeff. Tori is a little under the weather. We hope you get better today, Tori. It's not COVID. I should just preface that.
I'm glad you did.
Yes, Tori, feel better.
No one has ever referred to COVID as being a little under the weather, though.
Just to be sure, you don't think that I would
Every single person watching, we're like, Tori's a little under the weather. Oh, my God. Every single person out.
Exactly.
Yes.
So I thought it was important to put that to bed.
Yes.
And we hope that you're relaxing in bed, Tori. All right, so let's get right to it because this is the news we have all been waiting for. Is there a chance that life could be back to normal by spring? Can you imagine?
No.
Well, there's a lot of hope right now after news that Pfizer's experimental COVID-19 vaccine is 90% effective. So when can we expect the vaccine to roll out? Well, here's what Health and Human Services Secretary Alex Azar said about it on the Today Show.
We have anticipated that we will have enough vaccine by the end of December to have vaccinated our most vulnerable citizens in nursing homes and otherwise, and by the end of January, enough for all healthcare workers and first responders, and enough for all Americans by the end of March to early April to have general vaccination programs.
Wow, the vaccine cannot come soon enough because, you guys, more than 59,000 Americans are currently hospitalized with the virus. That's a surge of 73% over the past month. Now, one prominent doctor is saying we could see an additional 100,000 deaths by Inauguration Day. So, DBL Nation, we want to hear your opinion. Do you think things will actually be back to normal by spring? Go to dblvote.com to weigh in. I can't even imagine what that will be like. Even when I watch like movies now and there's not masks, I almost am like, why aren't they wearing a mask? It's become, we've adapted, which is a good thing. But at the same time, what will be the first thing that you do if things return to normal in spring?
Still wearing my mask.
Really?
I think the mask is going to be the new normal. And full disclosure, we were kind of talking about this before the show started because it's such an interesting topic. But I think normal is as normal does. And what I mean by that is this is our normal now.
Yeah.
I'm used to like elbow bumping Jeff and keeping a little bit of a distance and making sure that I don't have a cold if I go to hug your daughter. And I think certain things like this are going to stay in place. Jeff, what do you think?
First of all, the elbow thing is silly. We need to just keep the knuckle because you're further away.
I like the knuckle.
It's distance away, right? You're going to wash your hands anyway. The elbow, you're all up in people's face. You know, I don't like it, okay? The social distancing should never go anywhere. Keep this forever.
Push back on both of you.
No way. Push back.
Listen.
Stay away. You can't push. If you're 6 feet away, you can't push me.
I completely disagree because I do not. There's a reason why we need intimacy, and not even more than that. Our children need to see our expressions. So am I with you when it comes to the flu? Am I with you when preventing colds, and especially children that are autoimmune compromised? But at the end of the day, I don't want my child's teacher, of course, during the pandemic, wear the mask. But I don't want my child's teacher to wear a mask. I don't want her uncle or
what
her
if
Uncle
that
Al
teacher is in a classroom full of, and a fourth of the kids have parents that are anti-vaxxers? Now you're putting that teacher's life at risk.
That's a whole different story. That's not what I'm responding to when you said you're going to continue to wear
but I see your point there. I see your point because it really frustrates me, like talking to people and I can't see their faces.
It's important.
That's important. But I think Al's point was a little extreme. I think maybe on airplanes, it's going to be socially acceptable. You don't get that look. Remember, occasionally you used to see people, again, I'm not trying to be, but coming over from Asia, this was part of their culture. Right. You'd see them on a plane and be like, why are they wearing a mask? Smart, right. Now you get on a plane and you're like, you know what? It's more socially acceptable. I'm going to wear that on a plane. Or if I'm not feeling good, I'm going to, hold on. If I'm not feeling good, I'm going to wear a mask for other people. What is this all about?
You remember when you two used to get mad at me and make fun of me for, oh my gosh.
You have to be more specific.
Disinfecting my seat on an airplane.
You were way ahead of the curve on that. I will say this.
I do have to give it up. I do have to give it up.
All right.
I just think
Al, don't let her get away with that.
I was trying to give her a compliment. She rolled. Did you want to go to the next story?
I was told
there was your compliment for the month. That's it. You had one. You rolled through it.
I want to hear my compliment.
Country music stars.
I want to what? I want to hear my compliment.
I was just going to say you were way ahead of the curve.
Thank you.
Wiping down your area.
Thank you,
so
I do have to give it up to you.
Okay, I appreciate it. Now let's look at thank you. Let's look at the megaphone. Okay. 92% of you think that things will return to normal by spring.
They will not.
No, they won't.
Do not.
Yeah.
Wow. I guess I need to get my eyes checked.
You better do it now.
I better do it now.
Did you see that huge bar of
Leave
red
me
for
alone.
no?
Can we move on?
Okay, sorry.
I'm 40. Let's move on. Country music stars are speaking out. It's all over the large celebrations this past weekend for President-elect Joe Biden. As you can see, huge crowds of people gathered, ignoring social distancing guidelines. Even director Spike Lee threw a big bash. And while he encouraged folks to wear a face mask, many did not. Country singer Morgan Wallen said the hypocrisy was unreal on Instagram, posting a picture and saying, time to start booking shows. So the question is, are these types of spontaneous celebrations hypocritical if other events with large crowds, Jeff, are not allowed?
Yes, very hypocritical. I said this yesterday before we even did this story. Listen, you have to take race, color, sexuality, everything out of it. It's crowds getting together. I used the example yesterday of a college football team when they stormed the field. That's an example of it. But if you're going to use the White House as a super spreader when there's 47 people, I don't even know the number. Let's say there's 100. There's not even 100. That's a super spreader. What do you call this? What is that when there's thousands of people out there? What is the word for that?
Yeah, I mean, we're in a scary place because all these conversations that should be scientific, where you're trying to take it, Jeff, in terms of just like, I don't care about your race, I don't care about your color, I want you to be safe, that goes away because you can't sell commercials and chicken sandwiches during that conversation that's just scientific. You sell things by saying, oh, these black people can get together, oh, the White House can get together, and until we start to realize, excuse my earpiece again, until we start to realize that there's profit to be made by us going back and forth instead of us all coming together and realizing that if you want to hug your grandmother again, if I'd like to see my mom in 2021, 2020's gone. I will not have seen my mother at all.
Wow.
Then we need to start to do these things. If you want to continue to argue about race and class and country and hip hop and Biden, we can do that too. We're here all day. So we have to decide as people where we want to go.
And I just want to jump in quickly. We have to have that conversation, right? And we have to have it logically. I can't say, hey, I don't want people getting together. Well, you don't believe in Black Lives Matter? That's not what I said. That's not what I said at all. I said I don't want people getting together. What, did you vote for Trump because people are celebrating for Biden? That's not what I said at all. I use the college football analogy as the same as people partying for Biden on the street, as the same for anyone getting together in mass groups. We cannot have it. And we have to have this conversation and start denouncing that if we're going to start getting better as a country.
No matter what side of the aisle you're on, if there can be one bipartisan initiative, wear a mask, don't get together. I don't care if you're Democratic. I don't care if you're conservative. It's all hypocritical and it's all wrong. And I completely denounce it all. I don't think people like
hearing the word don't, Sam.
Well,
I think that's what it is. And I'm not saying you're wrong. People just push back. I don't know why.
Well, put your big girl pants on and follow the rules. I can't believe I just said that.
Yeah, that was
That was so
I didn't know
weird.
who that was aimed at.
That was so
Do
not
I have
me.
big girl pants? I wear them.
We need some new wardrobe.
We got to give a big DBL shout out to 21-year-old Chris Nikitch. He is the first person with Down syndrome to complete an Ironman triathlon, meaning he swam for 2.4 miles, biked for 112 miles, and he ran 26.2 miles. After 16 hours and 46 minutes, Nick crossed the finish line. It is a Guinness World Record, and we have to say, wow. You are the definition of an Ironman. Way to go. That is a feat. Can you imagine doing any
Sam,
of those?
I can't. I couldn't even. You could probably do the swimming part, and you probably could too, Jeff.
No,
that
I couldn't.
would knock me out.
Now,
just the swimming and then the running.
I couldn't even drive that far, however the total distance is with my kids in a car. That's how much I can't do that.
When I was younger, when I was in 4th grade, there was a man named Jim Farrar. Yes, I'm calling you out, Jim Farrar. And he was an incredible athlete, but he never wanted to do the swim during his triathlon. I was about 9, 10 years old at the time, but I was still a very fast swimmer. He would call, I remember, always around September because the triathlon in Santa Cruz is in October. I remember my mom picking up the phone every year. Hey, Jim, sure, Sam can do your swimming leg. Of course. And there I would have it in the freezing cold ocean in Santa Cruz, California, swimming around the wharf, 1 mile, sharks underneath, barking seals, fish hooks. People were still fishing as I swam around that wharf. I have PTSD.
Are you serious?
No disrespect to anybody with PTSD.
Can you ask somebody to do your leg for you?
Yes, you can have people do your leg.
Why don't I just have somebody do all 3 while I'm at home?
What's the point of that? Not a thing.
Yeah, but that doesn't. Then you're not an Ironman.
You're a 2/3 Ironman.
I'm talking about triathlon.
Oh.
And fish hooks. Yes, when you go around a wharf, people are fishing, Jeff. Fish hooks.
Swim over.
Okay, I can't. Coming up on DBL, we are catching up with former Orange County housewife Heather Dubrow and her husband Terry. From his killer show to her former castmate Kelly Dodd, there's a lot to talk about. Plus, even though Thanksgiving will look very different this year, the side dishes will stay the same. We've got a state-by-state breakdown of the most popular plates. And as we go to break, we have to thank our coworkers who are taking the pandemic seriously and working from home. We'll be right back. Welcome back to DBL. Food is a big part of Thanksgiving, but what you love to serve really depends on where you live. So career website Zippia analyzed Google searches across the U.S. to determine each state's favorite side dish. I'm digging the music. Thanksgiving staple green bean casserole is a hit in states like Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, Ohio, and Michigan. Love those crispy onions on top. But Kentucky is all about the broccoli casserole. People in Maine prefer side salads.
Boo.
Really?
Super boo.
No surprise here, mac and cheese is the #1 side dish in southern states like Georgia, the Carolinas, and Virginia. And northeastern states like Vermont, New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania love stuffing. But Alabama likes dressing. Many of you think they're the same thing. They're not. What's your favorite side dish?
Green bean casserole.
Crispy onion?
Of course, crispy onion. And you know what's not on the list that I am a little fancy boy?
What's
like
that?
wild mushrooms sauteed.
Oh, that's a good call.
With white wine?
Yeah.
Yes!
And garlic?
Sam, I'm going to come out of the closet right here on DBL right now. I'm coming out of the closet, Jeff. I think I like the side dishes of Thanksgiving more than the turkey.
That's me.
I think if it was like mac and cheese and a green bean casserole or mac and cheese and some collard greens, and that's really, I just keep the turkey on my plate just to like keep tradition.
Yeah, but you need the turkey, Al.
No,
it's
I
like
don't
DBL
know.
without you, Al. We're just a bunch of side dishes.
Oh.
Don't call me a side dish.
If you were a side dish, what would you be?
If I were a side dish, I would be the sweet potato casserole. And I'm all side dishes, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't eat meat. So I'm right there with you. Give me all them side dishes.
Yeah.
Also in Indiana, deviled eggs. Are you guys a deviled egg
No,
fan?
I don't like eggs.
Love
eggs are
'em.
gross.
Oh, you don't like it? I don't like eggs.
Eggs
They
are
stink.
gross.
Oh,
yeah.
they're so good. Whenever, like, you remember when you used to socialize and go to parties, and someone would have deviled eggs for no reason? I'm like, best friends for life.
Right?
It seems like a good picnic food.
Yeah, you know what
so
else is a
good.
really good picnic food when I used to eat meat? Are those little teeny tiny sausages, those little wieners. Those are good.
Yeah, I don't know if they're good though.
No?
No. Those like no one's like, is there a meat on a stick that I could eat?
Okay, well I don't eat meat anymore, but I remember digging those. But I was young.
That's probably why you don't eat it.
I'm being told sweet potatoes with or without marshmallows.
Oh, with marshmallows. Come on.
No, too sweet.
See, I'm without too. I'm without.
Really?
Yeah, it's too much. I don't like when it crosses over like into dessert. Like when you're making
That's
Jello with
interesting.
like marshmallows. No. That's for after. I want it salty.
I kind of dig that. I'll take my marshmallows, but I accept those arguments. I can see that.
This is the best conversation we've had in a while.
Best Thanksgiving pie. Go around the horn real quick. We don't have much time.
But it's got to be, I would say key lime, but it's not
What?
Thanksgiving.
That's not
so
Thanksgiving.
Pumpkin.
Okay, good.
Clarify.
Okay.
See, I was going to say key lime, and then you made a good point. So I'm going to go with sweet potato pie with a cup of coffee. Good to go.
Now, if you have a sweet potato side dish, which I will always have, I'm not going to go with the sweet potato pie because it's too much sweet
Makes
potato.
sense.
So I'll do a pumpkin pie.
Okay.
Now, the CDC recommends this year small groups and also outdoors. So I think a lot of our Thanksgivings will look a lot different this year.
Outdoors? We're going to be in an igloo? Outdoors?
Yes, Al, outdoors.
Some
you can
places
do it.
are still nice.
What?
Put your big girl pants on. You
No,
can do
I'm
it.
not eating Thanksgiving in 8-degree weather.
But big girl pants are good for Thanksgiving because they give a little.
I
want
still
some
wear my
Fabletics.
maternity pants, so they give a little. It's great. Coming up on DBL, reality TV power couple Dr. Terry and Heather Dubrow. Wait till you hear what she says about Orange County housewife Kelly Dodd. That's coming up next. Welcome back to DBL. Earlier, Stephanie caught up with Hollywood power couple Heather and Terry Dubrow, Dr. Terry Dubrow, to talk about everything from their new projects to the latest OC housewife drama in today's Chatting with the Stars.
Hello, Heather and Dr. Terry Dubrow. Before we get into the new season of License to Kill, I need you, Heather, to weigh in on some of the recent Orange County housewife drama. So, OC housewife Kelly Dodd shared misinformation about COVID and has spoken against the Black Lives Matter movement. So I would need to know, how do you feel about viewers wanting her pulled from the cast?
Of course, I keep in touch with some of the girls, but I don't really follow it that closely. But I would say this: anyone that doesn't believe in the Black Lives Matter movement is, in my opinion, not human and should be canceled.
Thank you for that. response, because you're completely correct, and thank you so much for answering that for us. I need to ask you as well, Gloria Estefan recently appeared on Red Table Talk. Her daughter confronted her about being hurt by Gloria's reaction to her coming out. However, your response to your daughter, Max, coming out as bisexual was extremely supportive. So what advice have you got for other parents that are in this position?
For us, we've always been very open with our children, and all we want to do is create healthy, independent, functioning, healthy humans. For all the parents out there, my advice is this: listen more than you speak. Listen to your kids. Don't be reactive, don't judge, and just love them.
Heather Max is also following your footsteps with her podcast, I'll Give It To You Straight-ish. And now your podcast has reached over 100 million downloads. Huge congratulations. I need to know what's drawing the listeners to tune in.
I'm so thrilled that Max is doing her podcast, I'll Give It To You Straight-ish. It was completely her idea, her title, everything, and it's really exciting to watch her. I love doing my show. I've been doing it for 5 years, and the interactions that I have with the community has been so helpful to me, and hopefully I'm giving something back to them.
Now, Dr. Dubrow, season 2 of License to Kill is going to be a little bit different from the first season. So can you explain how it's going to be different and tell us all why we should be checking it out?
Season 1 was really more about doctors and healthcare providers that went off the deep end and became serial killers. What's really interesting about season 2 is that a lot of times when there's a crime committed, everyone knows there's been a crime, right? But when a doctor or a nurse or healthcare provider uses their skills that a lay person really doesn't appreciate or understand or have access to, you don't necessarily even know a crime's been committed. So it's really a mystery unfolding this season.
I love it. It's very exciting. I can't wait to watch. Wait, before we go as well, I want you guys to share how you've been helping Native communities survive during the ongoing pandemic.
They don't have access to even necessarily running water. And all about mask wearing, washing hands, social distancing, those things we take for granted that we can do easily, they don't necessarily have that. And they don't even have hand sanitizer. So what we've been able to do is send them a non-alcohol based hand sanitizer and make a very significant contribution to their ability to decrease the viral load that they may be exposed to. And if they can do that, they can decrease the chance that they will be contaminated, exposed, and get COVID and spend any time in the hospital. So we're really grateful we've had the opportunity to contribute to them keeping safe and protected.
Heather and Dr. Dubrow, thank you for joining us. DBL Nation, you guys can check out season 2 of License to Kill on Oxygen, and we'll be right back after this.
Thanks so much.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Welcome back to DBL. It's open enrollment season, and with so much information out there, don't worry, we're here to help. We're sharing 3 things to ask yourself when switching plans in today's DBL Health Alert. Jeff and I were just talking about this. So first, was your coverage sufficient this past year? Think about how much it helped you and covered your costs and medications. If you feel like you spent a lot more, you might want to switch to Medicare Advantage, which typically picks up the tab on those services. Second, did your plan change in a negative way? Sometimes coverages change, which impacts the cost of medication. And lastly, has your health changed? If you've been diagnosed with a new condition and you're about to start a new medication, consider researching plans that best fit you. So when it comes to your health, we've made it easy to find the best and most cost-effective Medicare Advantage plan. Just call 1-800-800-9974. Before we go to break, people in Maine are upset with us.
Oh, really?
Maine's writing in. We got Heather on Facebook. I've lived in Maine all my life, and not one single time ever has there been a side salad served with any Thanksgiving dinner. And Mark on Facebook, no one in Maine ever had a side salad for Thanksgiving, ever, Sam.
Hey, blame Zippia. That ain't on us, Maine. We got
DBL's
love.
new every
Shout out
day.
to the lobster
Bye,
wraps.
guys.
Backpedal it out.
talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
Big news today about the coronavirus vaccine. With cases at an all-time high, could life finally be back to normal by spring? Jeopardy pays tribute to Alex Trebek.
Thank you for everything, Alex. This is Jeopardy.
Now looking forward, who will be the next host of Jeopardy? A model at the height of her career chose to amputate her leg over chronic pain. The life-altering decision she's up against now.
I would live a better life if I just lost my other leg.
And two inspiring stories, from a man with Down syndrome making Ironman history to the stunning moment a former dancer with Alzheimer's remembers her Swan Lake routine.
Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
Welcome to DBL. It is Tuesday, November 10th. I'm Sam here with Erica and Jeff. Al joining us from home. We all just got emotional watching that, the woman with Alzheimer's remembering her Swan Lake routine.
Great,
wow.
inspirational stuff on the show today. I love it.
Yeah, so stay tuned for that. Let's get right to it. So we do have news that we've all been waiting for. Is there a chance that life could be back to normal by spring? Can you imagine? So there's a lot of hope right now after news that Pfizer's experimental COVID-19 vaccine is 90% effective. So when can we expect the vaccine to roll out? I know you all are wondering. Here's what Health and Human Services Secretary Alex Azar said about that on the Today Show.
We have anticipated that we will have enough vaccine by the end of December to have vaccinated our most vulnerable citizens in nursing homes and otherwise, and by the end of January, enough for all healthcare workers and first responders, and enough for all Americans by the end of March to early April to have general vaccination programs.
And the vaccine cannot come soon enough. More than 59,000 Americans are currently hospitalized with the virus. That's a surge of 73% over the past month. One prominent doctor is saying we could see an additional 100,000 deaths by Inauguration Day. So, DBL Nation, we got to hear your opinion on this one. Number one, do you think things will be back to normal by spring? Go to dblvote.com to weigh in. I really hope so, especially because we just heard that, Oklahoma City, their hospitals there are out of ICU beds. And my sister being a nurse, I worry about our healthcare workers. I worry about our viewers that have written in saying that they've lost family members or they have family members currently in the hospital. So number one, I hope that we return back to normal to save lives. But just on a simplistic level, not to be disrespectful, but what do you hope that you can do again this spring that you have lost due to the pandemic and quarantine, social distancing?
I mean, family time would be amazing. I was very fortunate to be able to spend a week with my family, and we took all the precautions in order to do that. But to be able to do that without having to think as much about, is this going to be the last? It's been a grim situation. It's just been very grim.
Yeah, not to copy your answer, but family, of course. I have a 2- and 4-year-old, and they can't see their grandparents, right? It's very difficult for them to do that. So as soon as things get back to somewhat normal that we know it, that's the first thing I do. But to answer your question, concerts, just a good old concert, right? To get around. Just when I see that on TV, it's so unrealistic to me that my mind doesn't even think that way. I'm like, what are all those people doing together? I spit everywhere.
We're gonna have to acclimate a whole new way. We really are, because I've become accustomed to wearing a mask.
Right.
I've become accustomed to walking in and not immediately getting near somebody, or when I'm grocery shopping, giving people their space. So I think it's gonna be a whole new way of living.
I think that we're going to keep a lot of those things, and I think for the better. But what are you most looking forward to?
Concerts. I'm right there. My husband and I love going to Red Rocks during the summer and seeing different groups perform and just kind of like being surrounded by nature. So I hope I can go to a concert again this summer. I held
on to my Biebs ticket, didn't cash it in.
Ooh,
he's coming back around.
Yes! I can't wait for you. And Al, what about you? What do you hope to do again in the spring?
You know what? I think I speak for most of us on the panel when I say that, we've done a lot in our lives. We've been lucky. Honestly, what I'm looking forward to is the generation or 2 generations beneath us not missing any more milestones. I don't want to see one more missed homecoming, one more missed Halloween, one more missed prom, one more missed graduation. I just want the young kids to have those milestones that we all had and take for granted. So, I just want to see kids graduating in person and being able to enjoy their youth. youth.
Well said. Well said. Let's look at our DBL Nation. 92% of you, you do not believe that things will return to normal by spring. Wow. All right, we shall see. So country music stars are speaking out. It's all over the large celebrations this past weekend for President-elect Joe Biden. So as you can see here, huge crowds of people gathered, ignoring social distancing guidelines. Even director Spike Lee threw a big bash, and while he did encourage folks to wear face masks, many did not. Country singer Morgan Wallen said the hypocrisy was unreal on Instagram, posting a picture and saying, time to start booking shows. So the question is, are these types of spontaneous celebrations hypocritical if other events with large crowds are not allowed? What do you think, Erica?
Was he the same guy who got kicked off of SNL for partying without a mask on?
He was.
Yeah, I'm asking that seriously because I can understand why he's taking this harder than most, because I too have lost a job for being irresponsible and being held to a higher standard than other people because of my position. So I can understand why he's very angst about this idea. I don't think that social media is who he should be asking when concerts can start. I think that his insurance company is who he should be asking when concerts should start. There's a very big difference between having a sponsored, organized event and bringing thousands of people into a venue, and people who are deciding to do, on the flip side, what other people are deciding to do by not wearing masks. They're deciding to congregate against the best interest of the society. And that's something different. Who do we hold accountable for that? We know who to hold accountable if you bring thousands of people into a venue.
Yeah. Listen, I'm just going to shame people not wearing masks. I know they don't want to hear that. A lot of people don't think it's part of their rights or whatever. I'm not getting into that conversation. Everyone that's not wearing a mask and that's in group gatherings, the president or the new president-elect needs to say something about this. We call a White House, was it 47 people? I don't even know what the number is. Let's say it's 100. A super spreader. What do you call that picture we just saw? What do you call people charging the field at the Notre Dame game last week and all jumping down? I'm not saying that I'm not saying that Black Lives Matter doesn't count, right? That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that if you're celebrating Joe Biden, you need to be shamed. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying if you put anyone together in a big group like this, it's going to be a super spreader, and we have to start realizing that.
Al, I agree with Jeff. I really do. I think it's hypocritical. You can't just say, oh, these people they're not wearing masks and how dare they because they're Republicans. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. If you're not wearing a mask, you are contributing to a super spreader event.
Period. I mean, we have people in our circle that we know and love that have put off weddings. We have people that have not gone to see people that are in the hospital, which is a much bigger deal, I'm sure, to them than Joe Biden winning or to Notre Dame winning. We have to prioritize the race of human beings over anything we are doing right now, or we are not going to get a hold of this. And putting up things like hypocrisy and things like that, that is designed to galvanize traffic, first of all, to your site with a lot of people outraged, but also it's going to now say, well, if they did it, then we can do it, and that's the wrong direction to go. Good luck to this guy. I mean, those people were out in the street with masks. Last I saw, he was taking lemon drop shots with no mask. So I don't know if the two things are applicable.
Fair point. Okay, so we do got to give a big DBL shout out to 21-year-old Chris Nikitch. He is the first person with Down syndrome to complete an Ironman triathlon. Okay, so let me break this down for you. He swam for 2.4 miles, biked for 112 miles, then he ran 26.2 miles. After 16 hours and 46 minutes, Nick crossed the finish line. It is a Guinness World Record, and we have to say, yeah, Nick, you are the definition of an Ironman. Way to go. Woo, that's a lot of work.
Incredible. Erica sneezed. She was so moved by this. But it is. I couldn't even do that in a car with my kids screaming. I'd pull over into the woods.
It's really distracting to have kids screaming when you're driving. But Al, can you imagine doing just any one of those legs of the Ironman just independently? That alone is a triumph.
I couldn't say them, but Jeff and Erica talk about this a lot. It's a single purpose of mine of being able to focus on one thing, and it just shows you can get anything done if you focus on that one thing. And we're sitting here and we're in disbelief, but I'm sure he's like, I'm sure he could have done another one the next day.
Yeah,
and true Iron Man.
Talk about his mentality must be. I was going to say iron too, but that doesn't make sense.
Good one.
I just wanted to say that he clearly has the mental capability too.
He's an Iron Man.
What?
That's what you just did.
No, I was talking about his mental capabilities, meaning like you gotta really think positively to achieve that. It's not just physical, it's mental. Wow, I just got told gotta go, Sam. All right, Al, don't go away. Coming up on DBL,
that was on behalf of all the viewers, Sam.
We're talking to an aspiring model who lost a leg to a crippling condition. Why is she making the decision to amputate her other leg? Even though Thanksgiving will look very different this year, the side dishes will stay the same. We've got a state-by-state breakdown of the most popular plates. And as we go to break, we gotta thank our coworkers who are taking the pandemic seriously. They're working from home. We miss you all. We'll be right back.
Both Biden and Trump have started fundraising pages for legal battles in multiple states. But we've also seen claims that the legal funds are able to be used for other things like paying down a campaign's debt. So let's verify. Can your donation to Trump or Biden's legal fundraisers actually be used toward campaign debt? To find out, we went straight to the fine print on both candidates' fundraising pages. First, President Trump. They're calling it the, quote, official election defense fund. Scroll down to the fine print at the bottom of the page and it shows if you donate, 60% will go towards paying down campaign debts, or if those debts are paid off, to funding the recount account. The remaining 40% goes to the Republican National Committee. So the claim that donations to President Trump's election defense could go toward campaign debt, verified. But what about Joe Biden's page? Well, they're calling it the Biden Fight Fund. Scroll down to the fine print and it does show that the first $142,000 of any contribution goes to the Democratic National Committee. Any money after that goes into Biden's recount account, but there's no mention of campaign debt on Biden's site. So claim that donations to Biden's Fight Fund will be used for campaign debt, false, but a large portion will go straight to the DNC.
Welcome back to DBL. Food is a big part of Thanksgiving, but what you love to serve really depends on where you live. So career website Zippia analyzed Google searches across the U.S. to determine each state's favorite side dish. Thanksgiving staple, green bean casserole, is a hit in states like Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, Ohio, and Michigan. Look at those crispy onions, yum. But Kentucky is all about the broccoli casserole. People in Maine apparently prefer side salads, really? And rolls are a favorite in Utah, Oklahoma, and Missouri, but in South Dakota, they love crescent rolls. That's all me. I love a good crescent roll. No surprise here, though. Mac and cheese is the #1 side dish in southern states like Georgia, the Carolinas, and Virginia. And many states from California to Connecticut like mashed potatoes as a side. But Florida and Tennessee prefer sweet potato casserole. And northeastern states like Vermont, New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania love stuffing. But Alabama likes dressing. And some of you apparently don't know the difference. I got people writing in me like there's no difference. No, dressing's on top, stuffing's inside.
Right. So yeah, dressing is made separately, but then there's stuff in, which your Southern grandma makes and puts all the little giblets and stuff in there.
Ooh, okay.
I don't know why you ooh and you are vegan, girl.
I don't know what giblet means.
You like the little pieces.
Oh.
The insides.
Yeah. See, this story is actually perfect for me because all I eat are the sides.
What's your favorite?
All of it. But yeah, I really love me mac and cheese, potatoes, the green bean casserole with the Crispies on top. What about you?
Green bean casserole is my favorite. I don't know why it goes back to, my grandmother used to cook that. Green bean casserole, but you know what's not on the list? I like a good wild mushroom. Am I a little bougie now?
A little bougie.
A little bougie.
You put white wine in there?
Yeah, with some garlic.
Wow.
I don't know if it's a Thanksgiving thing, but I've been really.
That's not a Thanksgiving side. As much as I love wild mushrooms.
No, neither is mac and cheese.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Who? What?
Mac and cheese is
the
definitely.
Pilgrims didn't get their hands on mac and cheese.
Okay, let's not bring up the Pilgrims, Jeff. Okay, this is a very serious issue.
Exactly.
Mac and cheese is a staple at the Thanksgiving, and not just mac and cheese. You gotta get that spaghetti and cheese and bake it up like a casserole.
Spaghetti and cheese?
Yeah, and it has
now I got a real problem.
And it's got to be baked.
Spaghetti noodles, not spaghetti sauce.
I know, but spaghetti noodle. Now this is a debacle. I'm leaving.
Whatever. I'm sure. Okay, I bet you if I made it, you wouldn't push it away.
I would definitely eat it, but I wouldn't be happy about it.
And
yes, you would.
Do you bake yours crispy?
Not crispy, but the top, yes. But you got to whip up the milk with a little egg, and then you pour it on there, so you get the little curdly.
Oh,
I guess curdly is not a good
not
word.
A very salacious.
Love my mac and cheese curdle.
And nobody does mushrooms for Thanksgiving.
I do. Come to my house.
All right, waiting on the prompter, guys. Okay, our medical expert, Dr. Payal Coley, explains how we can safely celebrate the holiday with friends and family. And later, CBS is shifting course on reality shows, the new change that will reflect the diversity of America. Welcome back to DBL. With Thanksgiving holiday just a couple of weeks away, it's time to start thinking about the safest way to travel or entertain guests, and it really starts with testing. So Dr. Payal Coley joining us live. Thank you, doctor. Today we're going to discuss a few different testing scenarios that could play out for anyone traveling or even bringing people in. So the first scenario, doc, 2 family members are flying in for Thanksgiving. They will get a rapid test at the airport and will stay with us. What do you make of that scenario?
This is a good one, and it's one that we're likely to encounter, but also one where testing can really be interpreted incorrectly. So a lot of people say, I get off the plane, I get the rapid test, I'm negative, I can go and stay with my loved one and not have to worry about it. Wrong. Because what happens if your exposure is on the plane or during your travel? That test that you have at the airport, that rapid test, is not going to reflect that, because the virus hasn't had enough time to build up in your bloodstream. So really what that rapid test is reflecting is about what happened about 5 days ago. So similarly, if you want to be sure that you're not, exposed during travel, you really want to get a test day 5 after your travel. So what I would recommend, if you have anyone coming in, they can get the rapid test, but you still have to assume that they might be infectious. Wear masks, keep that distance, even if they're staying with you. Sit, far away from each other, even at home. And then when that test comes back negative on day 5, then you can take those masks off.
Got it. Now here's the second scenario. Friends who live in the same town are coming over for Thanksgiving. We all get tested a few days beforehand.
So this is actually one where you may not need to use testing if you're smart about it. So what you can do is that Thanksgiving is just about 15 days away, right? And we also know that the incubation period of the virus is 14 days. So starting today, if you hunker down at home and your friend who you're going to see also hunkers down at home, and by this I mean not even grocery runs or anything, you're getting everything delivered, you're just staying at home, then come Thanksgiving, you can both get together safely without having to worry about testing or without wearing those masks.
Great advice.
I like the word hunker. Hunker
you
down.
like hunker down?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Coley. We'll be right back. We want to take time and remember Leo Lugo, a special education teacher from New Mexico. He passed away from COVID-19 in October at age 57. Leo was born in El Paso, Texas, and was the second youngest of 13 kids. His family says he was hardworking and passionate at everything he did, a real go-getter. Leo was dedicated to his mother, and he loved teaching and making a difference in the lives of his students. He will be dearly missed.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
The Verify team is weeding through misinformation to find you the facts about COVID-19. Scientists and researchers say a vaccine is close, and if you look on social media, you'll see posts like this, claiming you need 2 doses of the vaccine for it to be effective. So let's verify. Will we need 2 doses of a COVID-19 vaccine, and why? Here are sources.
Getting 2 doses of a vaccine is not unheard of.
Infectious disease specialist Dr. Linda Nabha, the CDC, and epidemiology professor Dr. Christopher Byrer from Johns Hopkins University.
And it's based on the immune response, the immunogenicity.
Our experts say that term, immunogenicity, is a measurement of the vaccine's ability to generate an immune response. That measurement determines how many doses are needed.
For example, hepatitis B vaccine is a 3-dose vaccine because about 60% of people are protected with 1 dose, then you get up to about 85 with 2, and then you get up to about 96 or 98 with 3 doses.
And Dr. Nabha says that multiple doses help boost immunity.
You really don't get full protection unless you get that second vaccine, that second shot.
Meanwhile, the CDC directed our Verify researchers to this website. It states that all but one of the COVID-19 vaccines in phase 3 of trial require more than 1 dose. So we can verify that yes, it is very likely that the COVID-19 vaccine will require 2 doses. And as you heard, our experts say that's not unusual. With your Verify, this is Evan Kozlov.
That at DBL,
we get to tell it like it is.
I think it's just social norms. I just blew up your whole argument.
Even when things get a little heated.
Things are crazy right now.
We have to have conversation about this.
What the hell am I being nice for?
You're always gonna see us 100% real.
That's unbelievable, okay?
But it's not just what we think.
We want to hear your opinions.
So join the conversation.
If you disagree with us, that's A-okay.
Not with me.
Because we love talking about what you're talking about.
And don't miss a single day in November. We've got so many incredible stories to share with you. Welcome back. We've got, speaking of incredible stories, here's that touching viral video. Check out what happened when a prima ballerina from Spain who is battling Alzheimer's disease heard the music to Swan Lake. Oh my gosh, that is so hard to watch. It's so beautiful, but you know, just I'm sure everybody watching, you know, someone who's battled Alzheimer's or dementia, and you see your loved one virtually trapped in their body, and just to see her have that escape and that familiarity, and to see that moment just shine through is just absolutely touching.
It really is the power of music, and when people are in isolation, music is such a great way to bring you to a place and time that, you know, felt better to you or felt like you were free. So
yeah, they say music touches your soul, and I think it really does. There's a Disney movie out, I don't know what the boy's affliction was. He was on the spectrum of some sort.
He couldn't speak, right?
Yeah, he couldn't speak, and through Disney movies and music, he learned to speak through them. So there really is something there, as you just saw.
Al, what were you thinking when you saw that?
You know, I'm just reminded of the phrase, and it sounds kind of interesting when you hear it the first time, but find something you like doing more than life itself. And you can tell that that woman loved being a ballerina more than anything else that she did. And it just kind of shows people, we talked about the young man, the Ironman, it's about finding something that you're passionate about and having that singular purpose of mind, and that's a result. It's beautiful.
Yeah. So beautiful. If you're sticking around, here's what's coming up. A model's life-changing decision to amputate her legs, why she had no other choice. And who could replace Alex Trebek on Jeopardy? DBL's new Everyday. We'll be right back.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
Welcome to DBL. I'm Sam here with Erica and Jeff. Al joining us from home. Let's get right to it. So Jeopardy paid an emotional tribute to Alex Trebek, who passed away on Sunday. Alex had hosted the show since 1984, and last night Jeopardy's executive producer said that Alex taped his final episodes just less than 2 weeks ago. Watch.
He will forever be an inspiration for his constant desire to learn, his kindness, and for his love of his family. We will air his final 35 episodes as they were shot. That's what he wanted. On behalf of everyone here at Jeopardy, thank you for everything, Alex.
Oh, Alex's final episode will air on Christmas Day. But now many are asking, who will be the next Jeopardy host? So according to the reps for GMA, they believe host George Stephanopoulos. Yeah, they are lobbying for him. Another name floating around, former contestant Ken Jennings. He became a consulting producer on the show in September. So first and foremost, before we discuss, let's just preface this by saying no one can replace Alex. But for conversation's sake, Jeff, Erica, Jeff, let's start with you. Who do you believe should or will replace Alex Trebek?
Those are decent choices, but I don't know why this name just popped in my head. NPH, Neil Patrick Harris, I think, would be a fantastic host. He's a smart guy. Well, he's a doctor, or at least plays one on TV. He's just a personable guy. He hosted a show last year, the year before, and he's just, I don't know, in my eyes, I see like the perfect guy.
Al, what about you?
You know what? I think the conversation starts and stops with Mr. Ken Jennings. Get out of here with that George Stephanopoulos. He doesn't have the pizzazz, the charisma that Mr. Ken Jennings had. Jeopardy viewers are not only familiar with him, but he has also built up a nice social media platform. He stays culturally relevant, and I think he's a choice.
He is a choice. I did ask him when he was on the show a few months ago, and he really kind of shied away from the question, I think mostly out of respect for Alex Trebek. But let me tell you something about Alex Trebek as a Jeopardy fan. Alex Trebek could shade smoother than any housewife on Bravo.
So true.
That man could shade the socks off of people, and it was so classy. Like, he did it so classy that it took you a second. Like, he just handed me my whole life. Like, people didn't even realize. That's what we don't talk about. We talk about Alex Trebek. Mm-hmm. Alex had the most classic shade of television history.
He could be super shady, but in a great way.
Always.
So two people come to my mind. So number one, I think Aisha Tyler. A lot of people don't know how intelligent she loves Jeopardy. She's so good at trivia. She's funny. But there's one person, and I think we need to take a different route, right? You don't want to compete with Alex Trebek. So I definitely think that we should go the comic route, but that person has to be smart, has to be charming, has to be able to deliver the shade. Yeah. I have the person right here. Al Jackson.
What? I was wondering where you went with that one.
I was looking like, who is it?
Oh, man.
I mean,
that's an Instagram picture right there, Al.
I'm petitioning for you, boo-boo. That's all you.
Hey, I appreciate it, but I love my DBL family. But yeah, it would be fun to host the show. I was up for, right before I booked DBL, I was up for that show on the Game Show Network where you have to fill in the words. What's the name of that?
That's appropriate, seeing as how you can't fill them in right now.
Wow.
I wonder why you didn't get it.
Connections or something?
What?
Okay. It's perplexing. It's perplexing how you ended up here with us, really.
Yeah, but you can do both Jeopardy and DBL. Let's put it out there. Erica manifests like no other. Put it out there, E.
I'm going to manifest this for you. Hopefully you'll find the words.
Yep. All right, so CBS is making a pledge to increase diversity on its reality shows. Starting next year, the cast of shows like Big Brother will be required to include at least 50% Black, Indigenous, or people of color. The change comes after several Survivor contestants spoke out about the lack of diversity on their show. CBS says it also has plans to increase diversity behind the camera. Jeff, you know, you are our reality show king, and you've been on Big Brother. What do you make of this?
I think it's great, right? I think we have to diversify everything from our Disney movies to cartoons to reality shows that we watch, because I think reality shows are a representation of middle America, right? And not to anyone's fault or to discriminate against anyone. Some people just don't know anyone from another culture, right? They don't, and this is the perfect way to show them how people interact, not this person or that person or this background or this sexual orientation or that. They're just people interacting, and I think that's what we need to bring to the screens, and I think CBS is doing that.
Well, I mean, obviously it's long overdue. We were talking earlier about how strange it is, the diversity, or like, you know, our sense of community here. If we're out to lunch or dinner and all of us are sitting together, no one just walks up and says, wow, this is a very diverse table. But when we see it on television, it's like, oh, there's diversity. Why? Because there's been a concerted effort for far too long to make it look as if we're all separatists and that no one really mingles amongst one another. And that is something that is being reflected in a medium that we've referred to as reality television. It's almost less offensive that the Friends had no Black friends or Hispanic friends in New York than it is to go on reality television in 2020 where there's no diverse cross-section of anything.
Well said. Yeah, absolutely well said. And speaking of diversity and representation, Viggo Mortensen is defending his decision to play a gay character in his upcoming film. So in his new movie, Falling, Viggo plays a gay man who ends up living with his homophobic father. So while promoting the film, Viggo said he thinks actors are actors, whether they play gay characters or other roles. Meantime, Prison Break actor Wentworth Miller says he's done with the show and with playing straight. In fact, Wentworth, who came out in 2013, he just made that announcement on Instagram. He said he understood that the show has a rabid fan base, but said he just doesn't want to play straight characters anymore because their stories have already been told. What do you think, Al? Do you think that actors should be able to play characters different than their own sexuality?
I think that should be up to the actor, Sam. I would look at, you know, because if I say, no, you're supposed to just play whatever you represent demographically, then I should have been a hypocrite sitting in Hamilton looking at a 6'5" African-American George Washington who absolutely killed the role, killed it. So it's just like, what is your skill level and what are you going to bring to the role? Now, do I want to see people of marginalized backgrounds, whether it be our trans brothers and sisters or gay brothers and sisters, to make sure that they get a chance to get those roles? Of course, but I just want to see the best actor for the part, and I do want to see some breakout trans and gay actors because they have a lot to bring to this table as well.
Well, they're also further marginalized because Billy Porter put it best from Pose. He said there's a double standard, right? So for straight actors to be offered gay roles, it's usually delivered right to them, but then you never really get to see the Billy Porters offered a straight role.
Right.
So I think that's important to take note too.
Well, I mean, we also have to look at casting, like just to be completely transparent about it. You have situations where if you have a role that's meant for minorities, then minorities can go after that role but can't go vice versa. So like if for instance, there will be castings that are specifically for Black actors, but you'll bring in other dynamics, because we've seen this before when we talk about blackface, where you're basically trying to push something off into that sector. The same thing for when it comes to sexuality, the same thing when it comes to a lot of different marginalized populations. And I think we really need to look at casting as the foundation of all of it.
Great points. Coming up on DBL, an inspiring story of determination. We are talking to a model who's not given up despite losing a leg and being on the verge of losing the other. This is her powerful message. Stay tuned. That's coming up next.
Welcome back to DBL. Now imagine this, you're a successful model at the height of your career when chronic pain causes you to be bedridden. Once you change, would you chance your life and limb? One young model made that choice, and she is now faced with another life-changing decision, losing her other leg. That's today's DBL Spotlight.
Smiling through the pain. It's something Lexi Bader does on a daily basis. We first introduced you to Lexi last year, a successful young model with a debilitating disease.
It felt like my toes were breaking in my boot, not even worth it. I can't model. The shoes are way too painful.
Lexi suffers from a rare nerve disease that causes her left foot to swell and turn purple. Her pain is crippling.
I lay in bed every single day. I usually cry every single day, and I can't do anything. Like, I can't climb, I can't work out, I can't run, I can't walk.
After 8 excruciating years, Lexi made the life-altering decision to amputate her leg below the knee.
I wasn't sad at all. I didn't miss it. I just looked down and I was like, yes, no more pain.
Within months, Lexi is walking. She begins pushing herself to new limits.
I went snowboarding down Encar, this mountain that's right outside my house, and it was awesome. I had no pain. I could walk, I could hike up the mountain to get my board, I could walk down.
For the first time in nearly a decade, Lexi is pain-free, and she's back on the runway.
In the fashion show, I was rocking heels the entire time. I didn't have to take them off or, take a break. I could actually wear heels the entire time through the fashion show with no pain.
But Lexi's joy is short-lived.
It's actually worse than the other side was.
Her rare nerve disease is back with a vengeance.
I couldn't even walk in the fashion show. I actually had to leave because I couldn't. It was just too painful, and I was crying, and it was just felt like my foot was like just breaking.
Her disease has spread into her right foot.
I actually don't model anymore right now. I don't even do photo shoots.
She is now facing amputation of her right leg.
I see my friends working toward their goals, and people are proud about their job, and I haven't had a job for 9 years. I just want to work toward my goals in my life, and I can't do that when I'm getting procedures every Friday, and I'm in chronic pain. I'm getting surgery once a year.
Lexi, welcome back to DBL.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, we're excited to have you because it was such a celebratory time the last time you were here, and you've been through so much. So tell us what a day is like for you dealing with your rare nerve disease that causes you chronic pain.
The amputation I got, I'm fine. It doesn't bother me at all. It's more my other foot now. I usually don't sleep much, and then when I do sleep, I'm on a lot of meds. I can't work. I work out as much as I can. It's basically the only thing I can do.
Well, you've been such a soldier, and I mentioned earlier, you inspired so many people in our DBL nation, because to make the decision to amputate your leg the first time was not a decision that you made lightly. How did it affect the thing that you loved the most at that time, your modeling career?
So the first time that I got back on my heels, well, the first time I actually got to walk was amazing. And the first time I actually got my new prosthetic to be able to wear heels was pretty awesome. I took a ton of videos and I was super excited. And it didn't hurt at all, which was like the first time in 9 years.
You are so incredibly strong. I mean, honestly, the first time you were in here, just even having a conversation with you both in the hair and makeup room or on set, your strength is just incredible. But obviously, there are a lot of issues that are happening that you're having to face head on. So as you're facing your second amputation, do you have any body image fears? Like, what are you fearing at this moment?
I'm definitely ready, because I'm ready for like no more pain and just to be done with surgery, but I'm also like very, very scared. I don't really know what to expect. I can't hop on one foot anymore, or like help myself get changed with one foot, or help myself get in and out of the bathtub with one foot. So I have a lot of anxiety right now. I'm a little bit depressed. But yeah, for body image, it's really stressful for me. I'm just really upset. But I am ready to take it on, because I'm ready to be in no more pain and not have to take like 5 different pills every single day just to be able to feel okay and be able to sleep. And I have surgery once a week. I go under anesthesia once a week. So I'm ready to not feel that way anymore.
Lexi, I asked you that question because the first time you were here, you talked about body image issues, and you were actually in a place where you had embraced this idea. You were really not only just killing it in modeling, but that was a part of who you were. Like, that was your projection and your power, so to speak. So I was asking you that to see if you still felt that same way about it, but it seems as though you have so many other concerns that you haven't been able to tackle that side of it.
No matter what, like, everything's gonna turn out fine, and no matter what, I'm gonna go back to modeling, and no matter what, I'm gonna go back to snowboarding, and I'm gonna keep doing and killing it at my life, and I'm still gonna go back to my jobs that I wanna do and keep working out. I'm just stressed right now.
And you know what, it's very understandable that you would be stressed, but know that as you did before, you came in and you said that I will be walking the catwalk or the runway in heels again, and you did that. You said I will be on a snowboard. You did that. So if anyone can overcome these obstacles, Lexi, I know it's you. So I want to thank you for sharing your incredible story. I mean, over the course of so many iterations of it. Please let us know what's happening with you, and we'll be looking for photos, because we know that whatever you're creating, child, it is going to be fierce. So thank you again for joining us on DBL.
And thank you for having me.
We appreciate you. We'll be right back.
If you have Medicare,
Welcome back to DBL. It's open enrollment season, and with so much information out there, don't worry, we are here to help. So we're going to share 3 things to ask yourself when switching plans in today's DBL Health Alert. So number 1, was your coverage sufficient this past year? Think about how much it helped you and covered your costs and medications. If you feel like you spend a lot more, you might want to switch to Medicare Advantage, which typically picks up the tab on those services. Second, did your plan change in a negative way? Sometimes coverages do change, which does impact the cost of medication. And lastly, has your health changed? If you've been diagnosed with a new condition and you're about to start a new medication, consider researching plans that best fit you. So when it comes to your health, we've made it easy to find the best and most cost-effective Medicare Advantage plan. Just call 1-800-800-9974. Jeff, you and I were just talking about this. I was like getting advice from Jeff because you do your research.
I try to, and I do have to change some things up. You know, Lawson's a little bit older, so I can get him some dental plan. Don't yell at me.
I'm in the same boat.
Don't yell at me. And then I got to get some vision going for myself because Big Jeff's getting old.
Me too. Erica, your 40th is coming up. I hit 40 and now I'm squinting.
Well, that happened to me a long time ago, so I'm right behind you, girl.
We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Tomorrow on DBL, a log rolls off a cliff and kills an innocent bystander. Was it a freak accident or something else?
Your son did something that resulted in the death of a lady.
Don't miss tomorrow's True Crime Chronicles. And he may have lost his legs in Iraq, but one veteran didn't lose sight of his dreams, how he made history climbing one of the world's most dangerous mountains.
Just an incredible moment up there.
His inspiring story tomorrow on DBL. Welcome back to DBL. We love sharing your comments. So a lot of you are just completely in awe of the courage from Lexi. So we have, wow, this is from Thomas McGee. That girl is such an inspiration. Shaylin Jones says she is. And then she goes on to say, God bless her. She will prevail. And then Lone Wolf, that's one brave model. Yeah. What was it like talking to her this time around? What did you notice was different?
Well, you know, I mean, obviously a lot has changed, and her optimism, I mean, she's still very optimistic. Obviously, she was very transparent with her fears, and who wouldn't be? Like, just the fact that she was transparent in this moment really shows her strength. And I mean, every time I speak to her, I'm just incredibly inspired by her.
Well done on that interview. And then we're also getting a lot of hate from Maine. Apparently, in Maine, it's not a thing from side salads. We have so many comments saying, I'm from Maine, there's no such thing as side salads. And then also, Al, people saying you do not put egg in macaroni and cheese. Do you put egg in mac and cheese?
Oh, I said that.
I know you did, but Al,
No,
I want him to be the
absolutely not.
Yes, you do put it in there. You put the cream and then the egg and you whip it and you put it on top of it and then you
And you don't use spaghetti either.
Don't come for Big Mama's mac and cheese.
Good job.
Talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
Big news today about the coronavirus vaccine. With cases at an all-time high, could life finally be back to normal by spring? Jeopardy pays tribute to Alex Trebek.
Thank you for everything, Alex. This is Jeopardy.
Now looking forward, who will be the next host of Jeopardy? A model at the height of her career chose to amputate her leg over chronic pain. The life-altering decision she's up against now.
I would live a better life if I just lost my other leg.
And two inspiring stories from a man with Down syndrome making Ironman history to the stunning moment a former dancer with Alzheimer's remembers her Swan Lake routine.
Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
Well, welcome to DBL. It is Tuesday, November 10th. I'm Sam here with Erica and Jeff. Al joining us from home. We all just got emotional watching that the woman with Alzheimer's remembering her Swan Lake routine.
Great,
wow.
Inspirational stuff on the show today. I love it.
Yeah, so stay tuned for that. Let's get right to it. So we do have news that we've all been waiting for. Is there a chance that life could be back to normal by spring? Can you imagine? So there's a lot of hope right now after news that Pfizer's experimental COVID-19 vaccine is 90% effective. So when can we expect the vaccine to roll out? I know you all are wondering. Here's what Health and Human Services Secretary Alex Azar said about that on the Today Show.
We have anticipated that we will have enough vaccine by the end of December to have vaccinated our most vulnerable citizens in nursing homes and otherwise, and by the end of January, enough for all healthcare workers and first responders, and enough for all Americans by the end of March to early April to have general vaccination programs.
And the vaccine cannot come soon enough. More than 59,000 Americans are currently hospitalized with the virus. That's a surge of 73% over the past month. One prominent doctor is saying we could see an additional 100,000 deaths by Inauguration Day. So DBL Nation, we got to hear your opinion on this one. Number one, do you think things will be back to normal by spring? Go to dblvote.com to weigh in. I really hope so, especially because we just heard that, Oklahoma City, their hospitals there are out of ICU beds. And my sister being a nurse, I worry about our healthcare workers. I worry about our viewers that have written in saying that they've lost family members or they have family members currently in the hospital. So number one, I hope that we return back to normal to save lives. But just on a simplistic level, not to be disrespectful, but what do you hope that you can do again this spring that you have lost due to the pandemic and quarantine, social distancing?
I mean, family time would be amazing. I was very fortunate to be able to spend a week with my family, and we took all the precautions in order to do that. But to be able to do that without having to think as much about, is this going to be the last? It's been a grim situation. It's just been very grim.
Yeah, not to copy your answer, but family, of course. I have a 2- and a 4-year-old, and they can't see their grandparents, right? It's very difficult for them to do that. So as soon as things get back to somewhat normal that we know it, that's the first thing I do. But to answer your question, concerts, just a good old concert, right? To get around. Just when I see that on TV, it's so unrealistic to me that my mind doesn't even think that way. I'm like, what are all those people doing together? I spit everywhere.
We're gonna have to acclimate a whole new way. We really are, because I've become accustomed to wearing a mask.
Right.
I've become accustomed to walking in and not immediately getting near somebody, or when I'm grocery shopping, giving people their space. So I think it's going to be a whole new way of living.
I think that we're going to keep a lot of those things, and I think for the better. But what are you most looking forward to?
Concerts. I'm right there. My husband and I love going to Red Rocks during the summer and seeing different groups perform and just kind of like being surrounded by nature. So I hope I can go to a concert again this summer. I
held on to my Biebs ticket, didn't cash it in.
Ooh,
he's coming back around.
Yes! I can't wait for you. And Al, what about you? What do you hope to do again in the spring?
You know what? I think I speak for most of us on the panel when I say that, we've done a lot in our lives. We've been lucky. Honestly, what I'm looking forward to is the generation or 2 generations beneath us not missing any more milestones. I don't want to see one more missed homecoming, one more missed Halloween, one more missed prom, one more missed graduation. I just want the young kids to have those milestones that we all had and take for granted. So, I just want to see kids graduating in person and being able to enjoy their youth.
Well said. Well said. Let's look at our DBL Nation. 92% of you do not believe that things will return to normal by spring. Wow. All right, we shall see. So country music stars are speaking out. It's all over the large celebrations this past weekend for President-elect Joe Biden. So as you can see here, huge crowds of people gathered, ignoring social distancing guidelines. Even director Spike Lee threw a big bash, and while he did encourage folks to wear face masks, many did not. Country singer Morgan Wallen said the hypocrisy was unreal on Instagram, posting a picture and saying, time to start booking shows. So the question is, are these types of spontaneous celebrations hypocritical if other events with large crowds are not allowed? What do you think, Erica?
Was he the same guy who got kicked off of SNL for partying without a mask on?
He was.
Yeah, I'm asking that seriously because I can understand why he's taking this harder than most, because I too have lost a job for being irresponsible and being held to a higher standard than other people because of my position. So I can understand why he's very angst about this idea. I don't think that social media is who he should be asking when concerts can start. I think that his insurance company is who he should be asking when concerts should start. There's a very big difference between having a sponsored, organized event and bringing thousands of people into a venue, and people who are deciding to do, on the flip side, what other people are deciding to do by not wearing masks. They're deciding to congregate against the best interest of the society. And that's something different. Who do we hold accountable for that? We know who to hold accountable if you bring thousands of people into a venue.
Yeah. Listen, I'm just going to shame people not wearing masks. I know they don't want to hear that. A lot of people don't think it's part of their rights or whatever. I'm not getting into that conversation. Everyone that's not wearing a mask and that's in group gatherings, the president or the new president-elect needs to say something about this. We call a White House, was it 47 people? I don't even know what the number is. Let's say it's 100. A super spreader. What do you call that picture we just saw? What do you call people charging the field at the Notre Dame game last week and all jumping down? I'm not saying that I'm not saying that Black Lives Matter doesn't count, right? That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that if you're celebrating Joe Biden, you need to be shamed. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying if you put anyone together in a big group like this, it's going to be a super spreader, and we have to start realizing that.
Al, I agree with Jeff. I really do. I think it's hypocritical. You can't just say, oh, these people they're not wearing masks and how dare they because they're Republicans. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. If you're not wearing a mask, you are contributing to a super spreader event.
Period. I mean, we've seen people, we have people in our circle that we know and love that have put off weddings. We have people that have not gone to see people that are in the hospital, which is a much bigger deal, I'm sure, to them than Joe Biden winning or to Notre Dame winning. We have to prioritize the race of human beings over anything we are doing right now, or we are not going to get a hold of this. And putting up things like hypocrisy and things like that, that is designed to galvanize traffic, first of all, to your site with a lot of people outraged, but also it's going to now say, well, if they did it, then we can do it, and that's the wrong direction to go. Good luck to this guy. I mean, those people were out in the street with masks. Last I saw, he was taking lemon drop shots with no mask. So I don't know if the two things are applicable.
Fair point. Okay, so we do got to give a big DBL shout out to 21-year-old Chris Nikitch. He is the first person with Down syndrome to complete an Ironman triathlon. Okay, so let me break this down for you. He swam for 2.4 miles, biked for 112 miles, then he ran 26.2 miles. After 16 hours and 46 minutes, Nick crossed the finish line. It is a Guinness World Record, and we have to say, yeah, Nick, you are the definition of an Ironman. Way to go. Ooh, that's a lot of work.
Incredible. Erica sneezed. She was so moved by this. But it is. I couldn't even do that in a car with my kids screaming. I'd pull over into the woods.
It's really distracting to have kids screaming when you're driving. But Al, can you imagine doing just any one of those legs of the Ironman just independently? That alone is a triumph.
I couldn't say them, but Jeff and Erica talk about this a lot. It's a single purpose of mine of being able to focus on one thing, and it just shows you can get anything done if you focus on that one thing. And we're sitting here and we're in disbelief, but I'm sure he's like, I'm sure he could have done another one the next day.
Yeah,
and true Iron Man.
Talk about his mentality must be. I was going to say iron too, but that doesn't make sense.
Good one.
I just wanted to say that he clearly has the mental capability
He's an
too.
Iron Man.
What?
That's what you just did.
No, I was talking about his mental capabilities, meaning like you gotta really think positively to achieve that. It's not just physical, it's mental. Wow, I just got told gotta go, Sam. All right, Al, don't go away. Coming up on DBL,
that was on behalf of all the viewers, Sam.
We were talking to an aspiring model who lost a leg to a crippling condition. Why is she making the decision to amputate her other leg? Even though Thanksgiving will look very different this year, the side dishes will stay the same. We've got a state-by-state breakdown of the most popular plates. And as we go to break, we got to thank our coworkers who are taking the pandemic seriously. They're working from home. We miss you all. We'll be right back.
Both Biden and Trump have started fundraising pages for legal battles in multiple states. But we've also seen claims that the legal funds are able to be used for other things like paying down a campaign's debt. So let's verify. Can your donation to Trump or Biden's legal fundraisers actually be used toward campaign debt? To find out, we went straight to the fine print on both candidates' fundraising pages. First, President Trump. They're calling it the, quote, official election defense fund. Scroll down to the fine print at the bottom of the page and it shows if you donate, 60% will go towards paying down campaign debts, or if those debts are paid off, to funding the recount account. The remaining 40% goes to the Republican National Committee. So the claim that donations to President Trump's election defense could go toward campaign debt, verified. But what about Joe Biden's page? Well, they're calling it the Biden Fight Fund. Scroll down to the fine print and it does show that the first $142,000 of any contribution goes to the Democratic National Committee. Any money after that goes into Biden's recount account, but there's no mention of campaign debt on Biden's site. So claim that donations to Biden's Fight Fund will be used for campaign debt, false, but a large portion will go straight to the DNC.
Welcome back to DBL. Food is a big part of Thanksgiving, but what you love to serve really depends on where you live. So career website Zippia analyzed Google searches across the U.S. to determine each state's favorite side dish. Thanksgiving staple, green bean casserole, is a hit in states like Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, Ohio, and Michigan.
Yeah.
Look at those crispy onions. Yum. But Kentucky is all about the broccoli casserole. People in Maine apparently prefer side salads. Really? And rolls are a favorite in Utah, Oklahoma, and Missouri, but in South Dakota, they love crescent rolls. That's all me. I love a good crescent roll. No surprise here, though. Mac and cheese is the #1 side dish in southern states like Georgia, the Carolinas, and Virginia. And many states from California to Connecticut like mashed potatoes as a side. But Florida and Tennessee prefer sweet potato casserole. And northeastern states like Vermont, New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania love stuffing. But Alabama likes dressing. And some of you apparently don't know the difference. I got people writing in me like there's no difference. No, dressing's on top, stuffing's inside.
Right. So yeah, dressing is made separately, but then there's stuffing, which your Southern grandma makes and puts all the little giblets and stuff in there.
Ooh, okay.
I don't know why you ooh and you are vegan, girl.
I don't know what giblet means.
You like the little pieces.
Oh.
The insides.
Yeah. See, this story is actually perfect for me because all I eat are the sides.
What's your favorite?
All of it. But yeah, I really love me mac and cheese, potatoes, the green bean casserole with the Crispies on top. What about you?
Green bean casserole is my favorite. I don't know why it goes back to, my grandmother used to cook that. Green bean casserole. But you know what's not on the list? I like a good wild mushroom. Am I a little bougie now?
A little bougie.
A little bougie.
You put white wine in there?
Yeah, with some garlic.
Wow.
I don't know if it's a Thanksgiving thing, but I've been really.
That's not a Thanksgiving side. As much as I love wild mushrooms.
No, neither is mac and cheese.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Who? What?
Mac and cheese is
the
definitely.
Pilgrims didn't get their hands on mac and cheese.
Okay, let's not bring up the Pilgrims, Jeff. Okay, this is a very serious issue.
Exactly.
Mac and cheese is a staple at the Thanksgiving, and not just mac and cheese. You gotta get that spaghetti and cheese and bake it up like a casserole.
Spaghetti and cheese?
Yeah, and it has
now I got a real problem.
And it's got to be baked.
Spaghetti noodles, not spaghetti sauce.
I know, but spaghetti noodle. Now this is a debacle. I'm leaving.
Whatever. I'm sure. Okay, I bet you if I made it, you wouldn't push it away.
I would definitely eat it, but I wouldn't be happy about
And
it.
Yes, you would.
Do you bake yours crispy?
Not crispy, but the top, yes. But you got to whip up the milk with the little egg, and then you pour it on there, so you get the little curdly.
Oh,
I guess curdly is not a good
not
word
a very
for it.
salacious, yummy
Love
title.
mac and cheese curdle.
And nobody does mushrooms for Thanksgiving.
I do. Come to my house.
All right, waiting on the prompter, guys. Okay, our medical expert, Dr. Coley, explains how we can safely celebrate the holiday with friends and family. And later, CBS is shifting course on reality shows, the new change that will reflect the diversity of America. Welcome back to DBL. With Thanksgiving holiday just a couple of weeks away, it's time to start thinking about the safest way to travel or entertain guests, and it really starts with testing. So Dr. Coley joining us live. Thank you, doctor. Today we're going to discuss a few different testing scenarios that could play out for anyone traveling or even bringing people in. So the first scenario, doc, 2 family members are flying in for Thanksgiving. They will get a rapid test at the airport and will stay with us. What do you make of that scenario?
This is a good one, and it's one that we're likely to encounter, but also one where testing can really be interpreted incorrectly. So a lot of people say, I get off the plane, I get the rapid test, I'm negative, I can go and stay with my loved one and not have to worry about it. Wrong. Because what happens if your exposure is on the plane or during your travel? That test that you have at the airport, that rapid test, is not going to reflect that because the virus hasn't had enough time to build up in your bloodstream. So really what that rapid test is reflecting is about what happened about 5 days ago. So similarly, if you want to be sure that you're not, exposed during travel, you really want to get a test day 5 after your travel. So what I would recommend, if you have anyone coming in, they can get the rapid test, but you still have to assume that they might be infectious. Wear masks, keep that distance, even if they're staying with you, sit, far away from each other, even at home. And then when that test comes back negative on day 5, then you can take those masks off.
Got it. Now here's the second scenario. Friends who live in the same town are coming over for Thanksgiving. We all get tested a few days beforehand.
So this is actually one where you may not need to use testing if you're smart about it. So what you can do is that Thanksgiving is just about 15 days away, right? And we also know that the incubation period of the virus is 14 days. So starting today, if you hunker down at home and your friend who you're going to see also hunkers down at home, and by this I mean not even grocery runs or anything, you're getting everything delivered, you're just staying at home, then come Thanksgiving, you can both get together safely without having to worry about testing or without wearing those masks.
Great advice.
I like the word hunker. Hunker
You
down.
like hunker down?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Coley. We'll be right back. We want to take time and remember Leo Lugo, a special education teacher from New Mexico. He passed away from COVID-19 in October at age 57. Leo was born in El Paso, Texas, and was the second youngest of 13 kids. His family says he was hardworking and passionate at everything he did, a real go-getter. Leo was dedicated to his mother, and he loved teaching and making a difference in the lives of his students. He will be dearly missed.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
The Verify team is weeding through misinformation to find you the facts about COVID-19. Scientists and researchers say a vaccine is close. And if you look on social media, you'll see posts like this, claiming you need 2 doses of the vaccine for it to be effective. So let's verify. Will we need 2 doses of a COVID-19 vaccine, and why? Here are sources.
Getting 2 doses of a vaccine is not unheard of.
Infectious disease specialist Dr. Linda Nabha, the CDC, and epidemiology professor Dr. Christopher Byrer from Johns Hopkins University.
And it's based on the immune response, the immunogenicity.
Our experts say that that term, immunogenicity, is a measurement of the vaccine's ability to generate an immune response. That measurement determines how many doses are needed.
For example, hepatitis B vaccine is a 3-dose vaccine because about 60% of people are protected with 1 dose, then you get up to about 85 with 2, and then you get up to about 96 or 98 with 3 doses.
And Dr. Nabha says that multiple doses help boost immunity.
You really don't get full protection unless you get that second vaccine, that second shot.
Meanwhile, the CDC directed our Verify researchers to this website. It states that all but one of the COVID-19 vaccines in phase 3 of trial require more than 1 dose. So we can verify that yes, it is very likely that the COVID-19 vaccine will require 2 doses. And as you heard, our experts say that's not unusual. With your Verify, this is Evan Kozlov. That at DBL,
we get to tell it like it is.
I think it's just social norms. I just blew up your whole argument.
Even when things get a little heated.
Things are crazy right now. We have to have conversation about this.
What the hell am I being nice for?
You're always gonna see us 100% real. That's unbelievable, okay?
But it's not just what we think.
We want to hear your opinions.
So join the conversation.
If you disagree with us, that's A-okay.
Not with me.
Because we love talking about what you're talking about.
And don't miss a single day in November. We've got so many incredible stories to share with you. Welcome back. We've got, speaking of incredible stories, here's that touching viral video. Check out what happened when a prima ballerina from Spain who is battling Alzheimer's disease heard the music to Swan Lake. Oh my gosh, that is so hard to watch. It's so beautiful, but you know, just I'm sure everybody watching, you know, someone who's battled Alzheimer's or dementia, and you see your loved one virtually trapped in their body, and just to see her have that escape and that familiarity, and to see that moment just shine through is just absolutely touching.
It really is the power of music, and when people are in isolation, music is such a great way to bring you to a place and time that, you know, felt better to you or felt like you were free. So.
Yeah, they say music touches your soul, and I think it really does. There's a Disney movie out. I don't know what the boy's affliction was. He was on the spectrum of some sort.
He couldn't speak, right?
Yeah, he couldn't speak, and through Disney movies and music, he learned to speak through them. So there really is something there, as you just saw.
Al, what were you thinking when you saw that?
You know, I'm just reminded of the phrase, and it sounds kind of interesting when you hear it the first time. But find something you like doing more than life itself. And you can tell that that woman loved being a ballerina more than anything else that she did. And it just kind of shows people, we talked about the young man, the Ironman. It's about finding something that you're passionate about and having that singular purpose of mind. And that's a result. It's beautiful.
Yeah. So beautiful. If you're sticking around, here's what's coming up. A model's life-changing decision to amputate her legs, why she had no other choice, and who could replace Alex Trebek on Jeopardy. DBL's new Everyday. We'll be right back.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
Welcome to DBL. I'm Sam here with Erica and Jeff. Al joining us from home. Let's get right to it. So Jeopardy paid an emotional tribute to Alex Trebek, who passed away on Sunday. Alex had hosted the show since 1984, and last night Jeopardy's executive producer said that Alex taped his final episodes just less than 2 weeks ago. Watch.
He will forever be an inspiration for his constant desire to learn, his kindness, and for his love of his family. We will air his final 35 episodes as they were shot. That's what he wanted. On behalf of everyone here at Jeopardy, thank you for everything, Alex.
Oh, Alex's final episode will air on Christmas Day. But now many are asking, who will be the next Jeopardy host? So according to the reps for GMA, they believe host George Stephanopoulos. Yeah, they are lobbying for him. Another name floating around, former contestant Ken Jennings. He became a consulting producer on the show in September. So first and foremost, before we discuss, let's just preface this by saying no one can replace Alex. But for conversation's sake, Jeff, Erica, Jeff, let's start with you. Who do you believe should or will replace Alex Trebek?
Those are decent choices, but I don't know why this name just popped in my head. NPH, Neil Patrick Harris, I think, would be a fantastic host. He's a smart guy. Well, he's a doctor, or at least plays one on TV. He's just a personable guy. He hosted a show last year, the year before, and he's just, I don't know, in my eyes, I see like the perfect guy.
Al, what about you?
You know what? I think the conversation starts and stops with Mr. Ken Jennings. Get out of here with that George Stephanopoulos. He doesn't have the pizzazz, the charisma that Mr. Ken Jennings had. Jeopardy viewers are not only familiar with him, but he has also built up a nice social media platform. He stays culturally relevant, and I think he's a choice.
He is a choice. I did ask him when he was on the show a few months ago, and he really kind of shied away from the question, I think mostly out of respect for Alex Trebek. But let me tell you something about Alex Trebek as a Jeopardy fan. Alex Trebek could shade smoother than any housewife on Bravo.
So true.
That man could shade the socks off of people, and it was so classy. Like, he did it so classy that it took you a second. Like, he just handed me my whole life. Like, people didn't even realize. That's what we don't talk about. We talk about Alex Trebek. Alex had the most classic shade of television history.
He could be super shady, but in a great way.
Always.
So two people come to my mind. So number one, I think Aisha Tyler. A lot of people don't know how intelligent she loves Jeopardy. She's so good at trivia. She's funny. But there's one person, and I think we need to take a different route, right? You don't want to compete with Alex Trebek. So I definitely think that we should go the comic route, but that person has to be smart, has to be charming, has to be able to deliver the shade. Yeah. I have the person right here. Al Jackson.
Oh, boy. I was wondering where you went with that one.
I was looking like, who is it?
Oh, man.
Hey,
that's an Instagram picture right there, Al.
I'm petitioning for you, boo-boo. That's all you.
Hey, I appreciate it, but I love my DBL family. But yeah, it would be fun to host the show. I was up for, right before I booked DBL, I was up for that show on the Game Show Network where you have to fill in the words. What's the name of that?
That's appropriate. See,
pretty much
how
like
you
this
can't fill them in right now, Al.
Wow.
Well, I wonder why you didn't get it.
Connections or something?
What? Okay.
It's perplexing. It's perplexing how you ended up here with us, really.
Yeah, but you could do both Jeopardy and DBL. Let's put it out there. Erica manifests like no other. Put it out there, E.
I'm going to manifest this for you. Hopefully you'll find the words.
Yep. All right, so CBS is making a pledge to increase diversity on its reality shows. Starting next year, the cast of shows like Big Brother will be required to include at least 50% Black, Indigenous, or people of color. The change comes after several Survivor contestants spoke out about the lack of diversity on their show. CBS says it also has plans to increase diversity behind the camera. Jeff, you know, you are our reality show king, and you've been on Big Brother. What do you make of this?
I think it's great, right? I think we have to diversify everything from our Disney movies to cartoons to reality shows that we watch, because I think reality shows are a representation of middle America, right? And not to anyone's fault or to discriminate against anyone. Some people just don't know anyone from another culture, right? They don't, and this is the perfect way to show them how people interact, not this person or that person or this background or this sexual orientation or that. They're just people interacting. And I think that's what we need to bring to the screens. And I think CBS is doing that.
Well, I mean, obviously it's long overdue. We were talking earlier about how strange it is, the diversity or like, you know, our sense of community here. If we're out to lunch or dinner and all of us are sitting together, no one just walks up and says, wow, this is a very diverse table. But when we see it on television, it's like, oh, there's diversity. Why? Because there's been a concerted effort for far too long to make it look as if we're all separatists and that no one really mingles amongst one another. And that is something that is being reflected in a medium that we refer to as reality television. It's almost less offensive that the Friends had no black friends or Hispanic friends in New York than it is to go on reality television in 2020 where there's no diverse cross-section of anything.
Well said. Yeah, absolutely well said. And speaking of diversity and representation, Viggo Mortensen is defending his decision to play a gay character in his upcoming film. So in his new movie, Falling, Viggo plays a gay man who ends up living with his homophobic father. So while promoting the film, Viggo said he thinks actors are actors, whether they play gay characters or other roles. Meantime, Prison Break actor Wentworth Miller says he's done with the show and with playing straight. In fact, Wentworth, who came out in 2013, he just made that announcement on Instagram. He said he understood that the show has a rabid fan base, but said he just doesn't want to play straight characters anymore because their stories have already been told. What do you think, Al? Do you think that actors should be able to play characters different than their own sexuality?
I think that should be up to the actor, Sam. I would look at, because if I say, no, you're supposed to just play whatever you represent demographically, then I should have been a hypocrite sitting in Hamilton looking at a 6'5" African-American George Washington who absolutely killed the role, killed it. So it's just like, what is your skill level and what are you going to bring to the role? Now, do I want to see people of marginalized backgrounds, whether it be our trans brothers and sisters or gay brothers and sisters, to make sure that they get a chance to get those roles? Of course, but I just want to see the best actor for the part, and I do want to see some breakout trans and gay actors because they have a lot to bring to this table as well.
Well, they're also further marginalized because Billy Porter put it best from Pose. He said there's a double standard, right? So for straight actors to be offered gay roles, it's usually delivered right to them, but then you never really get to see the Billy Porters offered a straight role.
Right.
So I think that's important to take note too.
Well, I mean, we also have to look at casting, like just to be completely transparent about it. You have situations where if you have a role that's meant for minorities, then minorities can go after that role but can't go vice versa. So like if for instance, there will be castings that are specifically for black actors, but you'll bring in other dynamics because we've seen this before when we talk about blackface, where you're basically trying to push something off into that sector. The same thing for when it comes to sexuality, the same thing when it comes to a lot of different marginalized populations. And I think we really need to look at casting as the foundation of all of it.
Great points. Coming up on DBL, an inspiring story of determination. We are talking to a model who's not given up despite losing a leg and being on the verge of losing the other. This is her powerful message. Stay tuned. That's coming up next.
Welcome back to DBL. Now imagine this, you're a successful model at the height of your career when chronic pain causes you to be bedridden. Once you change, would you chance your life and limb? One young model made that choice, and she is now faced with another life-changing decision, losing her other leg. That's today's DBL Spotlight.
Smiling through the pain. It's something Lexi Bader does on a daily basis. We first introduced you to Lexi last year, a successful young model with a debilitating disease.
It felt like my toes were breaking in my boot, not even worth it. I can't model. The shoes are way too painful.
Lexi suffers from a rare nerve disease that causes her left foot to swell and turn purple. Her pain is crippling.
I lay in bed every single day. I usually cry every single day, and I can't do anything. Like, I can't climb, I can't work out, I can't run, I can't walk.
After 8 excruciating years, Lexi made the life-altering decision to amputate her leg below the knee.
I wasn't sad at all. I didn't miss it. I just looked down and I was like, yes, no more pain.
Within months, Lexi is walking. She begins pushing herself to new limits.
I went snowboarding down Encar, this mountain that's right outside my house, and it was awesome. I had no pain. I could walk, I could hike up the mountain to get my board, I could walk down.
For the first time in nearly a decade, Lexi is pain-free, and she's back on the runway.
In the fashion show, I was rocking heels the entire time. I didn't have to take them off or, take a break. I could actually wear heels the entire time through the fashion show with no pain.
But Lexi's joy is short-lived.
It's actually worse than the other side was.
Her rare nerve disease is back with a vengeance.
I couldn't even walk in the fashion show. I actually had to leave because I couldn't. It was just too painful, and I was crying, and it was just felt like my foot was like just breaking.
Her disease has spread into her right foot.
I actually don't model anymore right now. I don't even do photo shoots.
She is now facing amputation of her right leg.
I see my friends working toward their goals, and people are proud about their job, and I haven't had a job for 9 years. I just want to work toward my goals in my life, and I can't do that when I'm getting procedures every Friday, and I'm in chronic pain. I'm getting surgery once a year.
Lexi, welcome back to DBL.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, we're excited to have you because it was such a celebratory time the last time you were here, and you've been through so much. So tell us what a day is like for you dealing with your rare nerve disease that causes you chronic pain.
The amputation I got, I'm fine. It doesn't bother me at all. It's more my other foot now. I usually don't sleep much, and then when I do sleep, I'm on a lot of meds. I can't work. I work out as much as I can. It's basically the only thing I can do.
Well, you've been such a soldier, and I mentioned earlier you inspired so many people in our DBL nation, because to make the decision to amputate your leg the first time was not a decision that you made lightly. How did it affect the thing that you loved the most at that time, your modeling career?
So the first time that I got back on my heels, the first time I actually got to walk was amazing. And the first time I actually got my new prosthetic to be able to wear heels was pretty awesome. I took a ton of videos and I was super excited. and it didn't hurt at all, which was like the first time in 9 years.
You know, you are so incredibly strong. I mean, honestly, the first time you were in here, just even having a conversation with you both in the hair and makeup room or on set, your strength is just incredible. But obviously, there are a lot of issues that are happening that you're having to face head on. So as you're facing your second amputation, do you have any body image fears? Like, what are you fearing at this moment?
I'm definitely ready because I'm ready for like no more pain and just to be done with surgery, but I'm also like very, very scared. I don't really know what to expect. You know, I can't hop on one foot anymore, or like help myself get changed with one foot, or help myself get in and out of the bathtub with one foot. So I have a lot of anxiety right now. I'm a little bit depressed, but yeah, for body image, it's really stressful for me. I'm just really upset. But I am ready to take it on because I'm ready to be in no more pain and not have to take like 5 different pills every single day just to be able to feel okay and be able to sleep. And have surgery once a week. I go under anesthesia once a week, so I'm ready to not feel that way anymore.
You know, Lexi, I asked you that question because the first time you were here, you talked about body image issues, and you were actually in a place where you had embraced this idea. You were really not only just killing it in modeling, but that was a part of who you were. Like, that was your projection and your power, so to speak. So I was asking you that to see if you still felt that same way about it, but it seems as though you have so many other concerns that you haven't been able to tackle that side of it.
No matter what, like, everything's gonna turn out fine, and no matter what, I'm gonna go back to modeling, and no matter what, I'm gonna go back to snowboarding, and I'm gonna keep doing and killing it at my life, and I'm still gonna go back to my jobs that I wanna do and keep working out. I'm just stressed right now.
And you know what, it's very understandable that you would be stressed, but know that as you did before, you came in and you said that I will be walking the catwalk or the runway in heels again, and you did that. You said I will be on a snowboard. You did that. So if anyone can overcome these obstacles, Lexi, I know it's you. So I want to thank you for sharing your incredible story. I mean, over the course of so many iterations of it. Please let us know what's happening with you, and we'll be looking for photos, because we know that whatever you're creating, child, it is going to be fierce. So thank you again for joining us on DBL.
And thank you for having me.
We appreciate you. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to DBL. It's open enrollment season, and with so much information out there, don't worry, we are here to help. So we're going to share 3 things to ask yourself when switching plans in today's DBL Health Alert. So number 1, was your coverage sufficient this past year? Think about how much it helped you and covered your costs and medications. If you feel like you spend a lot more, you might want to switch to Medicare Advantage, which typically picks up the tab on those services. Second, did your plan change in a negative way? Sometimes coverages do change, which does impact the cost of medication. And lastly, has your health changed? If you've been diagnosed with a new condition and you're about to start a new medication, consider researching plans that best fit you. So when it comes to your health, we've made it easy to find the best and most cost-effective Medicare Advantage plan. Just call 1-800-800-9974. Jeff, you and I were just talking about this. I was like getting advice from Jeff because you do your research.
I try to, and I do have to change some things up. You know, Lawson's a little bit older, so I can get him some dental plan. Don't yell at me.
I'm in the same boat.
Don't yell at me. And then I got to get some vision going for myself because Big Jeff's getting old.
Me too. Erica, your 40th is coming up. I hit 40 and now I'm squinting.
Well, that happened to me a long time ago, so I'm right behind you, girl.
We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
On DBL, a log rolls off a cliff and kills an innocent bystander. Was it a freak accident or something else?
Your son did something that resulted in the death of a lady.
Don't miss tomorrow's True Crime Chronicles. And he may have lost his legs in Iraq, but one veteran didn't lose sight of his dreams, how he made history climbing one of the world's most dangerous mountains.
Just an incredible moment up there.
His inspiring story tomorrow on DBL. Welcome back to DBL. We love sharing your comments. So a lot of you are just completely in awe of the courage from Lexi. So we have, wow, this is from Thomas McGee. That girl is such an inspiration. Shaylin Jones says she is. And then she goes on to say, God bless her. She will prevail. And then Lone Wolf, that's one brave model. Yeah. What was it like talking to her this time around? What did you notice was different?
Well, you know, I mean, obviously a lot has changed, and her optimism, I mean, she's still very optimistic. Obviously, she was very transparent with her fears, and who wouldn't be? Like, just the fact that she was transparent in this moment really shows her strength. And I mean, every time I speak to her, I'm just incredibly inspired by her.
Well done on that interview. And then we're also getting a lot of hate from Maine. Apparently, in Maine, it's not a thing from side salads. We have so many comments saying, I'm from Maine, there's no such thing as side salads. And then also, Al, people saying you do not put egg in macaroni and cheese. Do you put egg in mac and cheese?
Oh, I said that.
I know you did, but Al,
No,
I want him to be the...
absolutely not.
Yes, you do put it in there. You put the cream and then the egg and you whip it and you put it on top of it and then you
bake it.
Spaghetti either.
Don't come for Big Mama's mac and cheese.
Good job.
About today on Daily Blast Live.
Big news today about the coronavirus vaccine. With cases at an all-time high, could life finally be back to normal by spring? Jeopardy pays tribute to Alex Trebek.
Thank you for everything, Alex. This is Jeopardy.
Now looking forward, who will be the next host of Jeopardy? A model at the height of her career chose to amputate her leg over chronic pain. The life-altering decision she's up against now.
I would live a better life if I just lost my other leg.
And two inspiring stories from a man with Down syndrome making Ironman history to the stunning moment a former dancer with Alzheimer's remembers her Swan Lake routine.
Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
Welcome to DBL. It is Tuesday, November 10th. I'm Sam here with Erica and Jeff. Al joining us from home. We all just got emotional watching that the woman with Alzheimer's remembering her Swan Lake routine.
Great,
wow.
Inspirational stuff on the show today. I love it.
Yeah, so stay tuned for that. Let's get right to it. So we do have news that we've all been waiting for. Is there a chance that life could be back to normal by spring? Can you imagine? So there's a lot of hope right now after news that Pfizer's experimental COVID-19 vaccine is 90% effective. So when can we expect the vaccine to roll out? I know you all are wondering. Here's what Health and Human Services Secretary Alex Azar said about that on the Today Show.
We have anticipated that we will have enough vaccine by the end of December to have vaccinated our most vulnerable citizens in nursing homes and otherwise, and by the end of January, enough for all healthcare workers and first responders, and enough for all Americans by the end of March to early April to have general vaccination programs.
And the vaccine cannot come soon enough. More than 59,000 Americans are currently hospitalized with the virus. That's a surge of 73% over the past month. One prominent doctor is saying we could see an additional 100,000 deaths by Inauguration Day. So, DBL Nation, we got to hear your opinion on this one. Number one, do you think things will be back to normal by spring? Go to dblvote.com to weigh in. I really hope so, especially because we just heard that, Oklahoma City, their hospitals there are out of ICU beds. And my sister being a nurse, I worry about our healthcare workers. I worry about our viewers that have written in saying that they've lost family members or they have family members currently in the hospital. So number one, I hope that we return back to normal to save lives. But just on a simplistic level, not to be disrespectful, but what do you hope that you can do again this spring that you have lost due to the pandemic and quarantine, social distancing?
I mean, family time would be amazing. I was very fortunate to be able to spend a week with my family, and we took all the precautions in order to do that. But to be able to do that without having to think as much about, is this going to be the last? It's been a grim situation. It's just been very grim.
Yeah, not to copy your answer, but family, of course. I have a 2- and a 4-year-old, and they can't see their grandparents, right? It's very difficult for them to do that. So as soon as things get back to somewhat normal that we know it, that's the first thing I do. But to answer your question, concerts, just a good old concert, right? To get around. Just when I see that on TV, it's so unrealistic to me that my mind doesn't even think that way. I'm like, what are all those people doing together? I spit everywhere.
We're gonna have to acclimate a whole new way. We really are, because I've become accustomed to wearing a mask.
Right.
I've become accustomed to walking in and not immediately getting near somebody, or when I'm grocery shopping, giving people their space. So I think it's going to be a whole new way of living.
I think that we're going to keep a lot of those things, and I think for the better. But what are you most looking forward to?
Concerts. I'm right there. My husband and I love going to Red Rocks during the summer and seeing different groups perform and just kind of like being surrounded by nature. So I hope I can go to a concert again this summer. I
held on to my Biebs ticket, didn't cash it in.
Ooh,
he's coming back around.
Yes! I can't wait for you. And Al, what about you? What do you hope to do again in the spring?
You know what? I think I speak for most of us on the panel when I say that, we've done a lot in our lives. We've been lucky. Honestly, what I'm looking forward to is the generation or 2 generations beneath us not missing any more milestones. I don't want to see one more missed homecoming, one more missed Halloween, one more missed prom, one more missed graduation. I just want the young kids to have those milestones that we all had and take for granted. So, I just want to see kids graduating in person and being able to enjoy their youth.
Well said. Well said. Let's look at our DBL Nation. 92% of you do not believe that things will return to normal by spring. Wow. All right, we shall see. So country music stars are speaking out. It's all over the large celebrations this past weekend for President-elect Joe Biden. So as you can see here, huge crowds of people gathered, ignoring social distancing guidelines. Even director Spike Lee threw a big bash, and while he did encourage folks to wear face masks, many did not. Country singer Morgan Wallen said the hypocrisy was unreal on Instagram, posting a picture and saying, time to start booking shows. So the question is, are these types of spontaneous celebrations hypocritical if other events with large crowds are not allowed? What do you think, Erica?
Was he the same guy who got kicked off of SNL for partying without a mask on?
He was.
Yeah, I'm asking that seriously because I can understand why he's taking this harder than most, because I too have lost a job for being irresponsible and being held to a higher standard than other people because of my position. So I can understand why he's very angst about this idea. I don't think that social media is who he should be asking when concerts can start. I think that his insurance company is who he should be asking when concerts should start. There's a very big difference between having a sponsored, organized event and bringing thousands of people into a venue, and people who are deciding to do, on the flip side, what other people are deciding to do by not wearing masks. They're deciding to congregate against the best interest of the society. And that's something different. Who do we hold accountable for that? We know who to hold accountable if you bring thousands of people into a venue.
Yeah. Listen, I'm just going to shame people not wearing masks. I know they don't want to hear that. A lot of people don't think it's part of their rights or whatever. I'm not getting into that conversation. Everyone that's not wearing a mask and that's in group gatherings, the president or the new president-elect needs to say something about this. We call a White House, was it 47 people? I don't even know what the number is. Let's say it's 100. A super spreader. What do you call that picture we just saw? What do you call people charging the field at the Notre Dame game last week and all jumping down? I'm not saying that I'm not saying that Black Lives Matter doesn't count, right? That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that if you're celebrating Joe Biden, you need to be shamed. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying if you put anyone together in a big group like this, it's going to be a super spreader, and we have to start realizing that.
Al, I agree with Jeff. I really do. I think it's hypocritical. You can't just say, oh, these people they're not wearing masks and how dare they because they're Republicans. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. If you're not wearing a mask, you are contributing to a super spreader event.
Period. I mean, we've seen people, we have people in our circle that we know and love that have put off weddings. We have people that have not gone to see people that are in the hospital, which is a much bigger deal, I'm sure, to them than Joe Biden winning or to Notre Dame winning. We have to prioritize the race of human beings over anything we are doing right now, or we are not going to get a hold of this. And putting up things like hypocrisy and things like that, that is designed to galvanize traffic, first of all, to your site with a lot of people outraged, but also it's going to now say, well, if they did it, then we can do it, and that's the wrong direction to go. Good luck to this guy. I mean, those people were out in the street with masks. Last I saw, he was taking lemon drop shots with no mask. So I don't know if the two things are applicable.
Fair point. Okay, so we do got to give a big DBL shout out to 21-year-old Chris Nikitch. He is the first person with Down syndrome to complete an Ironman triathlon. Okay, so let me break this down for you. He swam for 2.4 miles, biked for 112 miles, then he ran 26.2 miles. After 16 hours and 46 minutes, Nick crossed the finish line. It is a Guinness World Record, and we have to say, yeah, Nick, you are the definition of an Ironman. Way to go. Woo, that's a lot of work.
Incredible. Erica sneezed. She was so moved by this. But it is. I couldn't even do that in a car with my kids screaming. I'd pull over into the woods.
It's really distracting to have kids screaming when you're driving. But Al, can you imagine doing just any one of those legs of the Ironman just independently? That alone is a triumph.
I couldn't say them, but Jeff and Erica talk about this a lot. It's a single purpose of mine of being able to focus on one thing, and it just shows you can get anything done if you focus on that one thing. And we're sitting here and we're in disbelief, but I'm sure he's like, I'm sure he could have done another one the next day.
Yeah,
and true Iron Man.
Talk about his mentality must be. I was going to say iron too, but that doesn't make sense.
Good one.
I just wanted to say that he clearly has the mental capability
too. He's an Iron Man.
What?
That's what you just did.
No, I was talking about his mental capabilities, meaning like you got to really think positively to achieve that. It's not just physical, it's mental. Wow, I just got told gotta go, Sam. All right, Al, don't go away. Coming up on DBL,
that was on behalf of all the viewers, Sam.
We're talking to an aspiring model who lost a leg to a crippling condition. Why is she making the decision to amputate her other leg? Even though Thanksgiving will look very different this year, the side dishes will stay the same. We've got a state-by-state breakdown of the most popular plates. And as we go to break, we got to thank our coworkers who are taking the pandemic seriously. They're working from home. 'em. We miss you all. We'll be right back.
Incredible. Erica sneezed. She was so moved by this. But it is. A I couldn't even do that in a car with my kids screaming. I'd pull over into the woods.
We'll be right back.
Both Biden and Trump have started fundraising pages for legal battles in multiple states. But we've also seen claims that the legal funds are able to be used for other things like paying down a campaign's debt. So let's verify. Can your donation to Trump or Biden's legal fundraisers actually be used toward campaign debt? To find out, we went straight to the fine print on both candidates' fundraising pages. First, President Trump. They're calling it the, quote, official election defense fund. Scroll down to the fine print at the bottom of the page, and it shows if you donate, 60% will go towards paying down campaign debts, or if those debts are paid off, to funding the recount account. The remaining 40% goes to the Republican National Committee. So the claim that donations to President Trump's election defense could go toward campaign debt, verified. But what about Joe Biden's page? Well, they're calling it the Biden Fight Fund. Scroll down to the fine print, and it does show that the first $142,000 of any contribution goes to the Democratic National Committee. Any money after that goes into Biden's recount account, but there's no mention of campaign debt on Biden's site. So, claim that donations to Biden's Fight Fund will be used for campaign debt, false, but a large portion will go straight to the DNC.
Welcome back to DBL. Food is a big part of Thanksgiving, but what you love to serve really depends on where you live. So career website Zippia analyzed Google searches across the U.S. to determine each state's favorite side dish. Thanksgiving staple, green bean casserole, is a hit in states like Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, Ohio, and Michigan.
Yeah.
Look at those crispy onions. Yum. But Kentucky is all about the broccoli casserole. People in Maine apparently prefer side salads. Really? And rolls are a favorite in Utah, Oklahoma, and Missouri, but in South Dakota, they love crescent rolls. That's all me. I love a good crescent roll. No surprise here, though. Mac and cheese is the #1 side dish in southern states like Georgia, the Carolinas, and Virginia. And many states from California to Connecticut like mashed potatoes as a side. But Florida and Tennessee prefer sweet potato casserole. And northeastern states like Vermont, New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania love stuffing. But Alabama likes dressing. And some of you apparently don't know the difference. I got people writing in me like there's no difference. No,
There is a
dressing's on
difference.
top, stuffing's inside.
Right. So yeah, dressing is made separately, but then there's stuffing, which your Southern grandma makes and puts all the little giblets and stuff in there.
Ooh, okay.
I don't know why you oohing. You are vegan, girl.
I don't know what giblet means.
You like the little pieces.
Oh.
The insides.
Yeah. See, this story is actually perfect for me because all I eat are the sides.
What's your favorite?
All of it. But yeah, I really love me mac and cheese, potatoes, the green bean casserole with the Crispies on top. What about you?
Green bean casserole is my favorite. I don't know why it goes back to, my grandmother used to cook that. Green bean casserole. But you know what's not on the list? I like a good wild mushroom. Am I a little bougie now?
A little bougie.
A little bougie.
You put white wine in there?
Yeah, with some garlic.
Wow.
I don't know if it's a Thanksgiving thing, but I've been really.
That's not a Thanksgiving
up.
side. As much as I love wild mushrooms.
No,
that
neither is mac and cheese.
Yes,
Excuse
it
you.
is.
Yes, it is.
Who? What?
Mac and cheese is
The
definitely.
Pilgrims didn't get their hands on mac and cheese.
Okay, let's not bring up the Pilgrims, Jeff, okay? This is a very serious issue.
Exactly.
Mac and cheese
Oh,
is
my
a
goodness.
staple
All right.
at the Thanksgiving.
I got canceled.
And not just mac and cheese. You gotta get that spaghetti and cheese and bake it up like a casserole.
Spaghetti and cheese?
Yeah, and it has to be-
now I got a real problem.
And it's got to be baked.
Spaghetti noodles, not spaghetti sauce.
I know, but spaghetti noodle. Now this is
Yes.
now this is a debacle. I'm leaving.
Whatever. I'm sure. Okay, I bet you if I made it, you wouldn't push it away.
I would definitely eat it, but I wouldn't be happy about
And
it.
Yes, you would.
Do you bake yours crispy?
Not crispy, but the top, yes. But you got to whip up the milk with the little egg, and then you pour it on there, so you get the little curdly.
Oh,
I guess curdly is not a good
not
word.
very
for it.
salacious. Yummy
Love
title.
mac and cheese curdle.
And nobody does mushrooms for Thanksgiving.
I do. Come to my house.
All right, waiting on the prompter, guys. Okay, our medical expert, Dr. Coley, explains how we can safely celebrate the holiday with friends and family. And later, CBS is shifting course on reality shows, the new change that will reflect the diversity of America. Welcome back to DBL. With Thanksgiving holiday just a couple of weeks away, it's time to start thinking about the safest way to travel or entertain guests, and it really starts with testing. So Dr. Coley joining us live. Thank you, doctor. Today we're going to discuss a few different testing scenarios that could play out for anyone traveling or even bringing people in. So the first scenario, doc, 2 family members are flying in for Thanksgiving. They will get a rapid test at the airport and will stay with us. What do you make of that scenario?
This is a good one, and it's one that we're likely to encounter, but also one where testing can really be interpreted incorrectly. So a lot of people say, I get off the plane, I get the rapid test, I'm negative, I can go and stay with my loved one and not have to worry about it. Wrong. Because what happens if your exposure is on the plane or during your travel? That test that you have at the airport, that rapid test, is not going to reflect that because the virus hasn't had enough time to build up in your bloodstream. So really what that rapid test is reflecting is about what happened about 5 days ago. So similarly, if you want to be sure that you're not, exposed during travel, you really want to get a test day 5 after your travel. So what I would recommend, if you have anyone coming in, they can get the rapid test, but you still have to assume that they might be infectious. Wear masks, keep that distance, even if they're staying with you. Sit, far away from each other, even at home. And then when that test comes back negative on day 5, then you can take those masks off.
Got it. Now here's the second scenario. Friends who live in the same town are coming over for Thanksgiving. We all get tested a few days beforehand.
So this is actually one where you may not need to use testing if you're smart about it. So what you can do is that Thanksgiving is just about 15 days away, right? And we also know that the incubation period of the virus is 14 days. So starting today, if you hunker down at home and your friend who you're going to see also hunkers down at home, and by this I mean not even grocery runs or anything, you're getting everything delivered, you're just staying at home, then come Thanksgiving, you can both get together safely without having to worry about testing or without wearing those masks.
great advice.
I like the word hunker. Hunker
You
down.
like hunker down?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Coley. We'll be right back. We want to take time and remember Leo Lugo, a special education teacher from New Mexico. He passed away from COVID-19 in October at age 57. Leo was born in El Paso, Texas, and was the second youngest of 13 kids. His family says he was hardworking and passionate at everything he did, a real go-getter. Leo was dedicated to his mother, and he loved teaching and making a difference in the lives of his students. He will be dearly missed.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
We've all
The Verify team is weeding through misinformation to find you the facts about COVID-19. Scientists and researchers say a vaccine is close. And if you look on social media, you'll see posts like this, claiming you need 2 doses of the vaccine for it to be effective. So let's verify. Will we need 2 doses of a COVID-19 vaccine, and why? Here are sources.
Getting 2 doses of a vaccine is not unheard of.
Infectious disease specialist Dr. Linda Nabha, the CDC, and epidemiology professor Dr. Christopher Byrer from Johns Hopkins University.
And it's based on the immune response, the immunogenicity.
Our experts say that that term, immunogenicity, is a measurement of the vaccine's ability to generate an immune response. That measurement determines how many doses are needed.
For example, hepatitis B vaccine is a 3-dose vaccine because about 60% of people are protected with 1 dose, then you get up to about 85 with 2, and then you get up to about 96 or 98 with 3 doses.
And Dr. Nabha says that multiple doses help boost immunity.
You really don't get full protection unless you get that second vaccine, that second shot.
Meanwhile, the CDC directed our Verify researchers to this website. It states that all but one of the COVID-19 vaccines in phase 3 of trial require more than 1 dose. So we can verify that yes, it is very likely that the COVID-19 vaccine will require 2 doses. And as you heard, our experts say that's not unusual. With your Verify, this is Evan Kozlov.
Like it is.
I think it's just social norms. I just blew up your whole argument.
Even when things get a little heated.
Things are crazy right now.
We have to have conversation about this.
What the hell am I being nice for?
You're always gonna see us 100% real. That's unbelievable, okay?
But it's not just what we think.
We want to hear your opinions.
So join the conversation.
If you disagree with us, that's A-okay.
Not with me.
Because we love talking about what you're talking about.
And don't miss a single day in November. We've got so many incredible stories to share with you. Welcome back. We've got, speaking of incredible stories, here's that touching viral video. Check out what happened when a prima ballerina from Spain who is battling Alzheimer's disease heard the music to Swan Lake. Oh my gosh, that is so hard to watch. It's so beautiful, but you know, just I'm sure everybody watching, you know, someone who's battled Alzheimer's or dementia, and you see your loved one virtually trapped in their body, and just to see her have that escape and that familiarity, and to see that moment just shine through is just absolutely touching.
It really is the power of music, and when people are in isolation, music is such a great way to bring you to a place and time that, you know, felt better to you or felt like you were free. So.
Yeah, they say music touches your soul, and I think it really does. There's a Disney movie out, I don't know what the boy's affliction was. He was on the spectrum of some sort.
He couldn't speak, right?
Yeah, he couldn't speak, and through Disney movies and music, he learned to speak through them. So there really is something there, as you just saw.
Al, what were you thinking when you saw that?
You know, I'm just reminded of the phrase, and it sounds kind of interesting when you hear it the first time, but find something you like doing more than life itself. And you can tell that that woman loved being a ballerina more than anything else that she did. And it just kind of shows people, we talked about the young man, the Ironman, it's about finding something that you're passionate about and having that singular purpose of mind, and that's a result. It's beautiful.
Yeah. So beautiful. If you're sticking around, here's what's coming up. A model's life-changing decision to amputate her legs, why she had no other choice. And who could replace Alex Trebek on Jeopardy? DBL's new Everyday. We'll be right back.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
Welcome to DBL. I'm Sam here with Erica and Jeff. Al joining us from home. Let's get right to it. So Jeopardy paid an emotional tribute to Alex Trebek, who passed away on Sunday. Alex had hosted the show since 1984, and last night Jeopardy's executive producer said that Alex taped his final episodes just less than 2 weeks ago. Watch.
He will forever be an inspiration for his constant desire to learn, his kindness, and for his love of his family. We will air his final 35 episodes as they were shot. That's what he wanted. On behalf of everyone here at Jeopardy, thank you for everything, Alex.
Oh, Alex's final episode will air on Christmas Day. But now many are asking, who will be the next Jeopardy host? So according to the Wrap, reps for GMA, they believe host George Stephanopoulos. Yeah, they are lobbying for him. Another name floating around, former contestant Ken Jennings. He became a consulting producer on the show in September. So first and foremost, before we discuss, let's just preface this by saying no one can replace Alex. But for conversation's sake, Jeff, Erica, Jeff, let's start with you. Who do you believe should or will replace Alex Trebek?
Those are decent choices, but I don't know why this name just popped in my head. NPH, Neil Patrick Harris, I think, would be a fantastic host. He's a smart guy. Well, he's a doctor, or at least plays one on TV. He's just a personable guy. He hosted a show last year, the year before, and he's just, I don't know, in my eyes, I see like the perfect guy.
Al, what about you?
You know what? I think the conversation starts and stops with Mr. Ken Jennings. Get out of here with that George Stephanopoulos. He doesn't have the pizzazz, the charisma that Mr. Ken Jennings had. Jeopardy viewers are not only familiar with him, but he has also built up a nice social media platform. He stays culturally relevant, and I think he's a choice.
He is a choice. I did ask him when he was on the show a few months ago, and he really kind of shied away from the question, I think mostly out of respect for Alex Trebek. But let me tell you something about Alex Trebek as a Jeopardy fan. Alex Trebek could shade smoother than any housewife on Bravo.
So true.
That man could shade the socks off of people, and it was so classy. Like, he did it so classy that it took you a second. Like, he just handed me my whole life. Like, people didn't even realize. That's what we don't talk about. We talk about Alex Trebek. Mm-hmm. Alex had the most classic shade of television history.
He could be super shady, but in a great way.
Always.
So two people come to my mind. So number one, I think Aisha Tyler. A lot of people don't know how intelligent she loves Jeopardy. She's so good at trivia. She's funny. But there's one person, and I think we need to take a different route, right? You don't want to compete with Alex Trebek. So I definitely think that we should go the comic route. But that person has to be smart, has to be charming, has to be able to deliver the shade.
Yeah.
I have the person right here. Al Jackson.
What? I was wondering where you went with that one.
I was looking like, who is it?
Oh, man.
I mean,
that's an Instagram picture right there, Al.
I'm petitioning for you, boo-boo. That's all you.
Hey, I appreciate it, but I love my DBL family. But yeah, it would be fun to host the show. I was up for, right before I booked DBL, I was up for that show on the Game Show Network, where you have to fill in the words. What's the name of that?
That's appropriate. See, pretty much like you can't fill them in right now.
Wow.
Well, I wonder why you didn't get it.
Connections or something?
What?
Okay. It's perplexing. It's perplexing how you ended up here with us, really.
Yeah, but you can do both Jeopardy and DBL. Let's put it out there. Erica manifests like no other. Put it out there, E.
I'm going to manifest this for you. Hopefully you'll find the words.
Yep. All right, so CBS is making a pledge to increase diversity on its reality shows. Starting next year, the cast of shows like Big Brother will be required to include at least 50% Black, Indigenous, or people of color. The change comes after several Survivor contestants spoke out about the lack of diversity on their show. CBS says it also has plans to increase diversity behind the camera. Jeff, you know, you are our reality show king, and you've been on Big Brother. What do you make of this?
I think it's great, right? I think we have to diversify everything from our Disney movies to cartoons to reality shows that we watch, because I think reality shows are a representation of middle America, right? And not to anyone's fault or to discriminate against anyone. Some people just don't know anyone from another culture, right? They don't, and this is the perfect way to show them how people interact, not this person or that person or this background or this sexual orientation or that. They're just people interacting. And I think that's what we need to bring to the screens. And I think CBS is doing that.
Well, I mean, obviously it's long overdue. We were talking earlier about how strange it is, the diversity or like, you know, our sense of community here. If we're out to lunch or dinner and all of us are sitting together, no one just walks up and says, wow, this is a very diverse table. But when we see it on television, it's like, oh, there's diversity. Why? Because there's been a concerted effort for far too long to make it look as if we're all separatists and that no one really mingles amongst one another. And that is something that is being reflected in a medium that we've referred to as reality television. It's almost less offensive that the Friends had no black friends or Hispanic friends in New York than it is to go on reality television in 2020 where there's no diverse cross-section of anything.
Well said. Yeah, absolutely well said. And speaking of diversity and representation, Viggo Mortensen is defending his decision to play a gay character in his upcoming film. So in his new movie, Falling, Viggo plays a gay man who ends up living with his homophobic father. So while promoting the film, Viggo said he thinks actors are actors, whether they play gay characters or other roles. Meantime, Prison Break actor Wentworth Miller says he's done with the show and with playing straight. In fact, Wentworth, who came out in 2013, he just made that announcement on Instagram. He said he understood that the show has a rabid fan base, but said he just doesn't want to play straight characters anymore because their stories have already been told. What do you think, Al? Do you think that actors should be able to play characters different than their own sexuality?
I think that should be up to the actor, Sam. I would look at, because if I say, no, you're supposed to just play whatever you represent demographically, then I should have been a hypocrite sitting in Hamilton looking at a 6'5" African-American George Washington who absolutely killed the role, killed it. So it's just like, what is your skill level and what are you going to bring to the role? Now, do I want to see people of marginalized backgrounds, whether it be our trans brothers and sisters or gay brothers and sisters, to make sure that they get a chance to get those roles? Of course, but I just want to see the best actor for the part, and I do want to see some breakout trans and gay actors because they have a lot to bring to this table as well.
Well, they're also further marginalized because Billy Porter put it best from Pose. He said there's a double standard, right? So for straight actors to be offered gay roles, it's usually delivered right to them, but then you never really get to see the Billy Porters offered a straight role.
Right.
So I think that's important to take note too.
Well, I mean, we also have to look at casting, like just to be completely transparent about it. You have situations where if you have a role that's meant for minorities, then minorities can go after that role but can't go vice versa. So like if for instance, there will be castings that are specifically for black actors, but you'll bring in other dynamics, because we've seen this before when we talk about blackface, where you're basically trying to push something off into that sector. The same thing for when it comes to sexuality, the same thing when it comes to a lot of different marginalized populations, and I think we really need to look at casting as the foundation of all of it.
Great points. Coming up on DBL, an inspiring story of determination. We are talking to a model who's not given up despite losing a leg and being on the verge of losing the other. This is her powerful message. Stay tuned, that's coming up next.
Welcome back to DBL. Now imagine this, you're a successful model at the height of your career when chronic pain causes you to be bedridden. Once you change, would you chance your life and limb? One young model made that choice, and she is now faced with another life-changing decision, losing her other leg. That's today's DBL Spotlight.
Smiling through the pain. It's something Lexi Bader does on a daily basis. We first introduced you to Lexi last year, a successful young model with a debilitating disease.
It felt like my toes were breaking in my boot, not even worth it. I can't model. The shoes are way too painful.
Lexi suffers from a rare nerve disease that causes her left foot to swell and turn purple. Her pain is crippling.
I lay in bed every single day. I usually cry every single day, and I can't do anything. Like, I can't climb, I can't work out, I can't run, I can't walk.
After 8 excruciating years, Lexi made the life-altering decision to amputate her leg below the knee.
I wasn't sad at all. I didn't miss it. I just looked down and I was like, yes, no more pain.
Within months, Lexi is walking. She begins pushing herself to new limits.
I went snowboarding down NCAR, this mountain that's right outside my house, and it was awesome. I had no pain. I could walk, I could hike up the mountain to get my board, I could walk down.
For the first time in nearly a decade, Lexi is pain-free, and she's back on the runway.
In the fashion show, I was rocking heels the entire time. I didn't have to take them off or, take a break. I could actually wear heels the entire time through the fashion show with no pain.
But Lexi's joy is short-lived.
It's actually worse than the other side was.
Her rare nerve disease is back with a vengeance.
I couldn't even walk in the fashion show. I actually had to leave because I couldn't. It was just too painful, and I was crying, and it was just felt like my foot was like just breaking.
Her disease has spread into her right foot.
I actually don't model anymore right now. I don't even do photo shoots.
She is now facing amputation of her right leg.
I see my friends working toward their goals, and people are proud about their job, and I haven't had a job for 9 years. I just want to work toward my goals in my life, and I can't do that when I'm getting procedures every Friday, and I'm in chronic pain. I'm getting surgery once a year.
Lexi, welcome back to DBL.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, we're excited to have you because it was such a celebratory time the last time you were here, and you've been through so much. So tell us what a day is like for you dealing with your rare nerve disease that causes you chronic pain.
The amputation I got, I'm fine. It doesn't bother me at all. It's more my other foot now. I usually don't sleep much, and then when I do sleep, I'm on a lot of meds. I can't work. I work out as much as I can. It's basically the only thing I can do.
Well, you've been such a soldier, and I mentioned earlier you inspired so many people in our DBL nation, because to make the decision to amputate your leg the first time was not a decision that you made lightly. How did it affect the thing that you loved the most at that time, your modeling career?
So the first time that I got back on my heels, The first time I actually got to walk was amazing. And the first time I actually got my new prosthetic to be able to wear heels was pretty awesome. I took a ton of videos and I was super excited. And it didn't hurt at all, which was like the first time in 9 years.
You know, you are so incredibly strong. I mean, honestly, the first time you were in here, just even having a conversation with you both in the hair and makeup room or on set, your strength is just incredible. But obviously, there are a lot of issues that are happening that you're having to face head on. So as you're facing your second amputation, do you have any body image fears? Like, what are you fearing at this moment?
I'm definitely ready because I'm ready for like no more pain and just to be done with surgery, but I'm also like very, very scared. I don't really know what to expect. You know, I can't hop on one foot anymore, like help myself get changed with one foot or help myself get in and out of the bathtub with one foot. So I have a lot of anxiety right now. I'm a little bit depressed, but yeah, for body image, it's really stressful for me. I'm just really upset. But I am ready to take it on because I'm ready to be in no more pain and not have to take like 5 different pills every single day just to be able to feel okay and be able to sleep. And I have surgery once a week. I go under anesthesia once a week. So I'm ready to not feel that way anymore.
You know, Lexi, I asked you that question because the first time you were here, you talked about body image issues, and you were actually in a place where you had embraced this idea. You were really not only just killing it in modeling, but that was a part of who you were. Like, that was your projection and your power, so to speak. So I was asking you that to see if you still felt that same way about it, but it seems as though you have so many other concerns that you haven't been able to tackle that side of it.
No matter what, like, everything's gonna turn out fine, and no matter what, I'm gonna go back to modeling, and no matter what, I'm gonna go back to snowboarding, and I'm gonna keep doing and killing it at my life, and I'm still gonna go back to my jobs that I wanna do and keep working out. I'm just stressed right now.
And you know what, it's very understandable that you would be stressed, but know that as you did before, you came in and you said that I will be walking the catwalk or the runway in heels again, and you did that. You said I will be on a snowboard. You did that. So if anyone can overcome these obstacles, Lexi, I know it's you. So I want to thank you for sharing your incredible story. I mean, over the course of so many iterations of it. Please let us know what's happening with you, and we'll be looking for photos, because we know that whatever you're creating, child, it is going to be fierce. So thank you again for joining us on DBL.
And thank you for having me.
We appreciate you. We'll be right back.
If you have
Welcome back to DBL. It's open enrollment season, and with so much information out there, don't worry, we are here to help. So we're going to share 3 things to ask yourself when switching plans in today's DBL Health Alert. So number 1, was your coverage sufficient this past year? Think about how much it helped you and covered your costs and medications. If you feel like you spend a lot more, you might want to switch to Medicare Advantage, which typically picks up the tab on those services. Second, did your plan change in a negative way? Sometimes coverages do change, which does impact the cost of medication. And lastly, has your health changed? If you've been diagnosed with a new condition and you're about to start a new medication, consider researching plans that best fit you. So when it comes to your health, we've made it easy to find the best and most cost-effective Medicare Advantage plan. Just call 1-800-800-9974. Jeff, you and I were just talking about this. I was like getting advice from Jeff because you do your research.
I try to, and I do have to change some things up. You know, Lawson's a little bit older, so I could get him some dental plan. Don't yell at me.
I'm in the same boat.
Don't yell at me. And then I got to get some vision going for myself because Big Jeff's getting old.
Me too. Erica, your 40th is coming up. I hit 40, now I'm squinting.
Well, that happened to me a long time ago, so I'm right behind you, girl.
We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
on DBL, a log rolls off a cliff and kills an innocent bystander. Was it a freak accident or something else?
Your son did something that resulted in the death of a lady.
Don't miss tomorrow's True Crime Chronicles. And he may have lost his legs in Iraq, but one veteran didn't lose sight of his dreams, how he made history climbing one of the world's most dangerous mountains.
Just an incredible moment up there.
His inspiring story tomorrow on DBL. Welcome back to DBL. We love sharing your comments. So a lot of you are just completely in awe of the courage from Lexi. So we have, wow, this is from Thomas McGee. That girl is such an inspiration. Shaylin Jones says she is. And then she goes on to say, God bless her. She will prevail. And then Lone Wolf, that's one brave model. Yeah. What was it like talking to her this time around? What did you notice was different?
Well, you know, I mean, obviously a lot has changed, and her optimism, I mean, she's still very optimistic. Obviously, she was very transparent with her fears, and who wouldn't be? Like, just the fact that she was transparent in this moment really shows her strength. And I mean, every time I speak to her, I'm just incredibly inspired by her.
Well done on that interview. And then we're also getting a lot of hate from Maine. Apparently, in Maine, it's not a thing. From side salads. We have so many comments saying, I'm from Maine, there's no such thing as side salads. And then also, Al, people saying you do not put egg in macaroni and cheese. Do you put egg in mac and cheese?
Oh, I said that.
I know you did, but Al,
No,
I want him to be the...
absolutely not.
Yes, you do put it in there. You put the cream and then the egg and you whip it and you put it on top of it and then you
And you don't use spaghetti either.
Don't come for Big Mama's mac and cheese.
Good job.